The EQ for everyone should be the same, except for Jack.
I re-EQ'd Trey because I thought it could be better, and it's better.
Hold on.
Jack's is good
Let's
though.
try again.
Okay.
You're all doing the same thing. Do like a low, go low.
This is it. I don't like this idea.
I'll do the high one.
Um,
Okay, one more time.
Close that door.
Close that door.
Close the door.
I'll be the highest. I'll be like the highest. I'll try to go the highest. Nigga went from I hate you.
I didn't distinct myself, man.
He was like, look at how am I supposed to go higher than that?
You're not supposed to.
God damn it.
You're supposed to be
I
different.
think we're fine.
Okay.
All right, so wait, is my audio good?
Yeah, I think
Wesley,
we're
just
good.
don't laugh too loud or
I
something.
think, yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to just turn him down? Turn me down?
I'll turn you down a tad.
Just turn me down a little bit.
Jack, can you hand me mic?
What's going on, guys? It is episode 4 of the BMG, the Market Podcast. So my name is Wesley.
My name is Hi. Jesus Christ, this is.
There's a lot that we did a lot before this.
Keep going.
What it is, people, it's your boy Trey. Always out here getting to the money.
And we
Hope
have
so.
a very, very, very special guest with us here.
Is it that special?
Okay, maybe I can knock off another very.
Ow.
We have a guest.
Hi, I'm Jack. That apparently is not as special as I thought it was.
Put that in the subtitle, like right here, but below Jack. Right here, below Jack. Like,
That's his lower third. Jack, not as important as he thought he was.
So
Instead
a lot
of
of
his
people,
Twitter handle or something.
a lot of people don't know Jack. We actually brought Jack on as another editor for our podcast. He does the highlights and any post-show stuff we're going to be doing in the future, which that will be something we will do.
Speaking
You see
of
on the
which-
Instagram or the Twitter any
Yep,
of those
that's what I was
funny
gonna
videos that are just clips with edits done to them? That's me.
It's all him.
That's me.
It's all wacko.
It's like
Wacko.
it's like 60% wacko.
Yeah.
So
It's like 6% me.
6%.
It's a good 6%.
It's a really good 6%.
It's a solid 6%.
So what's new? How's everyone doing?
And I'm Nico.
Oh, and there's Nico.
Oh, yeah. Hi,
but
Every time.
nobody cares.
I
about
can't
him.
see him. He's behind the TV.
Bro, it happens
Sick,
every
man.
time. I remember like every day leading up to this podcast, I was
I
like,
didn't forget you.
you know, it's bad that we forget Nico every time.
Nico, stare
This
at
time,
the.
this time I'm gonna say, you know, Nico, how about you? As soon as this podcast started, I immediately forgot.
Nico, stare at
Thank
stare at the camera for 10 seconds so I can put your lower third up for an ample amount of time. Good.
Cut that part out.
All right, that's good.
All right. So this is a big stacked episode of the
Yes.
market for sure. We have a lot of news to cover.
Indeed.
It was a busy week. Plus, on top of the fact that BlizzCon is happening, that just adds on to everything we've already talked. Like we already
It's
have
not
to talk
still
about.
going on, is it?
No, it ended
Okay.
yesterday.
Okay, that's good. So no more news are going to come out after this, hopefully. Before we get into all of that, we have a few corrections / clarifications to do. Last week we were talking about the Outer Worlds, and there was two things that I wanted to throw in here. So Wesley was talking about how he thought it was like Groundhog's
Day
in space,
in space.
but he was actually thinking of
The Outer
a game
Wilds.
a game called The Outer Wilds, which is it's actually a misconception.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of people make
A
that
lot of
mistake
people
because
are
they
doing
came
it.
out not too far apart from each other. The Outer Wilds came out a few months ago.
Yeah.
Like it's not very far away. So
Did you
yeah,
mean the movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray?
What?
Why did you say
yeah, like that kind of concept.
Yeah, you know because that's what the concept is called. Groundhog's Day. It's like so in the Outer Wilds.
Like if you die, you come back at the
Well,
same
what
day?
happens is the sun explodes every like 22 minutes or something. So like,
Well then,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
so,
explosive. That was
so-
I didn't say it like that.
Dude, shut up.
Really? Are you sure you didn't? That sounded very specific.
That's all
it
that
like-
came to my brain.
is it like Majora's Mask, where you only have a time limit?
I
to
don't
save the
have
world
a
or
ton
whatever?
of information about it because I haven't really seen it. I just know because someone online had mentioned it on one of the podcasts I listened to, and they were basically saying like you're in space, you're like finding out different things, and then like in 22 minutes the sun explodes and then it restarts and you do it again, but you're like, oh, okay, so this does this now, and I know that now and stuff like that. You go through the game like that.
So it's a game of constantly discovering what the world is.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
what to do. Essentially, that's interesting.
Interesting.
That is interesting. So then the other thing was that we were talking about, or I was talking about how it's like the Outer Worlds is a game all about different planets and civilizations that are run by corporations as the government, and the term for that is actually a corporatocracy. That's what.
Oh, that's what you were.
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Can
Remember,
you
I
turn
was
the-
like trying
the
to figure
fan
that
down?
out last week.
That's kind of
Why do we need the remote?
In case the TV volume later is too low or something.
We don't need the TV volume.
Right, I'm stupid.
Cut that out.
All right.
Let's not put that in.
No, we don't cut anything out of this podcast.
Not at all. Not at
I'll
all.
kill somebody.
It's not in the budget to cut things out.
Cheap.
Dude, there is no budget.
Wesley's not getting paid enough for it.
budget cuts.
Keep all.
Jack's like, they're not paying me at all.
Budget
Yeah.
You
cut.
guys are getting paid?
you guys are paid.
Oh, we are.
No, you're not.
Fuck.
No wonder I'm not that special.
Wow.
All right.
So we decided to kind of structure this a little bit differently this week because we have so much news. We can split it up a little bit more specifically. So we're gonna move the news blast later into the podcast, closer to right before the big discussion section.
So it's like an afternoon Buster Come Blast. That's what you're telling me.
One of those.
Get one of those.
It's known on November. You can't-
So
That's what I'm gonna say.
and
Oh,
those
shit.
gonna
My
be
bad, my bad.
Am I
it's
in
no
the right
November, man.
podcast? I don't think this is the correct.
No, we talk
I'm a
about
little
games here.
worried for
We talk
myself.
about games.
This is
Little worried for
BMG Big Meat Gang, right? that's the one we're on.
Guys, I
Oh
gotta go.
man.
I'm-
So that's gonna be we just kind of like talk about the news, like just briefly, like this is what's happened this week. Not too much discussion is required, and then this new section towards the front of the podcast, which we're about to jump into, is called "Browsing Our Wares." Tentatively, at least that's what Trade came up with. That's
The
the
name's
name.
shitty.
All right, buddy, come up with another one.
I
I'll
thought it
work
was
on
good.
it over the course
God,
of this
you know-
podcast.
Feel free
I-
to comment what a good name for this would be.
God, thank you for mentioning that now. When I first mentioned it over 12 hours ago
On Discord.
on Discord with you
I
in
know.
the call.
It's so funny because when you mentioned it the first time, I was playing League, and I was in my head, I was just like, "That sounds like dick," and then I didn't say anything.
I think it's a good name.
Thank you,
I think it's
Jack.
pretty good.
Jack,
So-
would you like to take Wesley's place on the podcast?
Wait,
This fits with the whole
It's
Browsing
like
Our
we
Wares
gotta
theme.
switch seats.
hold on.
Oh, did we ever talk about the fact that I relegated you behind the camera last week?
Oh yeah. So, but real funny story time with BMG. We were playing League of Legends, and I was being mischievous on the Rift, and I wouldn't say I was inting, but
But I was hinting.
I was inting. Yeah, so we get into another game, and I told him that I told you guys I wasn't gonna play the next one, but then Kevin was like, "Nah,
Kevin's
play
always
again."
dragging people back
Yeah.
into games.
Kevin was just like, "Nah, we're playing again," and I said, "All right," and we get into the game, and Hyde goes, "If you go
negative in this game,
negative in this game,
You're off the podcast."
off the podcast." And I go, "I like what did I say? I forget. I like the stakes in this one," and
you were just like, "Oh no!" But
I went.
You went even.
I went even. It was close.
so I said, "All right, you go behind the camera."
Yeah. And then I didn't.
But the actual punishment was that we brought Nico onto the stream instead,
yeah.
or on the podcast.
Remember I said I didn't want him?
Exactly.
Hey.
Nico wasn't a punishment. Nico was a blessing.
Yeah. Like I said, it was great to have the band back together.
See, from what he said, you might think that Jack is actually a good person, but in actuality, he's
You would think.
Yeah, Not so. Not so at all.
You would think.
You should see how he talks to some of us. I cannot believe it.
Browsing our wares.
You're welcome for that.
This
name.
is what's in the black market for the week. That's all I'm gonna say from now on.
You have to say it like a crotchety old man that's
With a trench coat
with the trench coat, and he's all shifty and
and disheveled.
yeah.
I don't know. Those two words sound like they went together.
I could sound like the I guess like the shopkeeper in a Resident Evil 4.
coins.
Yeah, I got a few coins.
This is like the Zur shop for the week.
Basically.
This is how we do. All right, so we have a lot. So, I didn't really explain. This part of the podcast is going to be parts where we require a little to medium amounts of discussion. That's what the difference is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so first things up, Twitch's viewership has experienced its first ever sustained decline in its history, having lost more viewers due to streamers moving to Mixer. And this is according to ThinkNum Media, which I'm assuming is some sort of data company.
Yikes.
So basically, of course, Twitch's viewership has gone up and down all the time, like month to month. But if you look at the chart that they had on the website, it's like gone consistently. It's always trended upwards. But this is the first time ever in Twitch's history that it's gone down and then gone down again, like seriously down. Like it's gone down twice before, but it's like very small.
Mixer's dying, guys. Mixer's a horrible
it's a dead platform.
No one's using it. It's horrible. Don't go.
What about Ninja? Who's that guy?
No, it's dying. It's dying.
Ninhu?
Forget
dying.
Ninja. So this is interesting. Actually, I was looking at the chart, and another interesting thing that I saw was that I don't know if anybody else can remember what this was, but in about 2016. Between January and March of 2016, just those 2 months alone, Twitch went from having about 14 million viewership to having 460. I don't know what happened.
What?
I don't remember what happened in that time frame.
2016 was a good year.
How did they gain 450 million viewers and then stayed in that progression?
I don't know. Wait,
because Twitch has been around since I think like 2014.
You
Right?
said 2016.
2016.
I got it.
It might have been PUBG.
Games.
It started with it was like
450 million people though.
it was called like Justin TV when it came out.
Maybe.
Dark Souls 3 came out.
Maybe
Overwatch
Fortnite,
came out.
Overwatch. That's
yeah.
got to be a big one. That's definitely
Overwatch
a big
came
one.
out. Gears 4 came out.
Overwatch.
Yeah.
Fortnite, which I think technically launched in 2016, but was popular in 2017.
Right.
Yeah.
PUBG might have been the year before that.
That
might
sounds
be
like
what
it was.
But 450 million people, man, that's a lot of fucking people.
Yeah, it was probably Overwatch. The bulk of it was definitely Overwatch.
That's
Crazy.
a lot of people. Holy
The
crap.
power of videogames.
But yeah, so it's interesting to see that.
Grains.
I mean, we already talked about it last podcast with how people are moving over to Mixer. But yeah, I mean, it's on a decline, which I hope doesn't stay the way because I like Twitch. Generally speaking, I think they're a good platform. I think they need competition, which is good that the Mixer's coming up in that sense. But hopefully, things still go well for them. I'm assuming this is probably because of the viewers for Ninja, Shroud, and the other guy that we mentioned are all well, not all of them, but they're shifting over to Mixer more because that's who they watch.
Yeah, I don't think this is a bad thing for Twitch because
Yeah.
being the biggest that there is, and in Twitch's case being the only one there, as soon as another thing, any other competitor shows up, your like viewership is going to go down regardless. So it's probably still going to be fine. It's just that now, because there's actual other places to go other than Twitch, it's going to be, oh no, Twitch is dying.
Twitch is dying, even
Twitch
though they
is
have
dying
like
to a dying
800 to
platform.
900 million viewers every month. And they're getting close to 1 billion, which is pretty cool. But they're not there yet, and now they've been set back.
Now
so
they're not.
exactly. So it'll be a little while, but we'll see. Maybe
And now they're not.
it's kind of funny though, considering that Worlds is going on. But at the same time, there's still YouTube and other places to watch Worlds, and then like ESPN Plus as well, and then plus the finals hasn't happened yet, which comes this actually the whole I think the whole knockouts probably wasn't. Most of the knockouts weren't even a part of that. So the semifinals just happened for Worlds. I'm talking about League of Legends, by the way, and the finals are happening on Sunday. So that's gonna be pretty big.
We gotta set up a
and the opening ceremony is supposed to be pretty good.
I'm hearing it.
You see the teaser video?
Yes.
That shit look nice.
Is Worlds going to be on Mixer?
I don't think it is.
think
They're not
it's
on
not.
Mixer. They're on YouTube and Twitch. They used to be on some other platform, so with an A. You remember that? That was like years ago, though. No. And now they're also on ESPN Plus.
Oh.
So you can watch them on ESPN.
And they're also technically on their website.
Fucking your mic.
Yeah, but that's all. That's through one of the platforms. Yeah, they stream it through that. All right, so that's interesting. Interesting that Twitch has to deal with that now. We'll see what happens next. Moving on to Steam, we have actually two things related to Valve and Steam today. And
Stop.
Are you
God,
bad?
That's my impression of Steam.
oh my god.
God damn it.
It was pretty good. I'll give you.
So Steam has added a feature that asks you if you would like to revise your review after you've gone further into a game. So now, if you play, let's say, the first 6 hours of Destiny 2, and you review the game one way, it doesn't matter which way. You just put a review in, and then you play the game for 15, 20 more hours. Twitch might send you a notification saying, "Hey, you've played this game for a while. Do you want to revise your review?" So I think that's pretty good. This is going to help with games that change since the opening hours or games that change persistently. Like if you reviewed Warframe 5 years ago, it is not the same game.
No, not at all.
And websites are doing the same thing too. IGN and other places have re-reviewed games like that live on for a while. And the other thing is they also recently added an ability to filter reviews by playtime. So this kind of ties all into that. So I thought this was pretty interesting. I think this is going to help people, or it's going to help games, I should say, developers, games that maybe they don't launch in a great state and they get fixed and then they're really good. No Man's Sky is a good example, I suppose.
Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 2.
Because that's one of the things that...
Though it's not on Steam, but yeah.
It's not on Steam,
an example.
but that's one of the examples of, if you go on IGN's website or GameSpot's website, it's still the original review of when it came out. And it's, not the same game anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those games that probably should be reviewed as well.
Go check out Battlefront 2, guys.
It's not.
Darn, you don't have to.
Yeah, it's not the same way it used to be when it launched with the whole. Oh man, that was a big stink for EA.
But it's good now.
Yeah, it is
because EA doesn't care about it. And,
they're just we're not making money on this game. Here you go.
So literally, DICE was like, "Sweet, we can do whatever we want. So let's make a good game."
That sounds awesome.
It's so cheap, man.
It's horrible.
All right. The second piece of news related to Valve and Steam is that the tease was true. EA and Valve are partnering, and EA games are coming back to Steam.
Yay!
And this also means that EA Access is coming to Steam.
Go Madden.
I talked about a segue without even actually knowing that was what was coming
exactly.
next.
I was thinking the same thing. And this also means that this is the first gaming subscription service available on Steam ever, because there's no other service.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So this makes it interesting. So
can you buy it through Steam, or is it you still buy it through EA?
No, I'm pretty sure you buy it through Steam.
So
you have
being integrated.
Yeah, so basically you buy the subscription service through Steam, and then all the games that you get through the service are downloaded through Steam.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure Origin still coexists with this perfectly fine. There's no issues here, and I'll get to some more in a second. So this is starting with the launch of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which comes out on November 15th. So in a few weeks.
11 days.
Yep.
Oh, that's coming out that soon.
Yeah, I know, man.
8 days after this podcast comes out?
All right. I just bought.
So a day
Astral
after
Chain.
the next one.
No, 7 days, I think.
Oh, so by the time the next podcast comes out,
Right? Yes.
And then in the coming months, you'll see The Sims 4, Unravel 2, Apex Legends, FIFA 20, and Battlefield 5 make their way to Steam as well. So, and then the multiplayer games that I listed will all have crossplay with Origin. So you won't have any split PC fan base or anything like that. So it just gives you the option of where you want to buy it and what ecosystem you want to live in, but you can still play with your friends regardless of where they buy it on PC, of course.
It's nice to see companies that have a brain.
I was gonna say this is like the least EA thing EA could do.
I'm about to say
That's what I'm saying.
EA has been slowly just doing some things over here because Blizzard's taking all the heat right now. So, and we'll get to that later. There's a lot more Blizzard
Dairy
stuff.
Queen's Twitter must be very confused. Why does everybody hate Blizzards?
Cheat.
I was like, I'm very confused. What are you talking about?
I hate you.
Trey's disappointed. He's going to sleep.
I'm probably never going to be on the podcast.
Oh, no, I will make sure of that. Hell, this podcast may never come
I mean, you remember the end of the first episode? Trey was like, we don't want Jack.
That's true. I forget I said that. Look where we are now.
He's here.
Cheat, man.
Okay, think of it this way. It could be worse. It could be Clark or Addie.
I mean,
You know Eddie's watching.
What's the
dude.
difference?
fucking what's the difference?
Moving on, for more cross-play related matters, Ubisoft would like to add cross-platform play for all of its PvP games, says the CEO. And development is quote-unquote well underway. So they want to be able to add cross-play for all PvP games, so that includes things like For Honor. I'm sure that includes things like Rainbow Six and anything in between.
For whatever reason, when you told me that, when you were saying that there was crossplay between all games, I thought of fucking For Honor characters in Rainbow Six.
Jeez.
Oh, that'd be so. I mean,
just
that
like,
would not
whoa.
surprise me with some of the crossovers we've seen.
FBI, open up, and it's just a Viking.
Cheat. Oh man.
runs at you with his axe or whatever, and you just put a grenade in his mouth.
I'm looking forward to this. I mean, not because I particularly play many Ubisoft games. Yes, Nico, would you like to say something?
Oh man.
What?
Yes.
All right.
I'm about to say, I was like,
I was about to say, good talk.
The fact that the development for that is well underway means we could probably see a full announcement for that this next E3 or even before that.
probably
possibly.
sooner, honestly. Yeah. I think, I don't know. They probably won't do it for like. Well, actually, I wonder. I was thinking they won't do it for like all of them at the same time because I don't think that makes sense. But maybe if they're developing like an underlying Uplay infrastructure that you can log in and play with other people on different platforms, that might launch at the same time. So that might actually come out for everything at the same time then.
Yeah.
That would be smart. I think we could probably see it before E3.
Yeah.
It's not a very complicated system to get going. I don't think for skilled engineers, I think they'll be able to figure it out pretty easily.
It's mostly. I think it would mostly be Sony's. It would
Yeah.
depend on how Sony.
Well,
responds
thankfully
to
they
it.
haven't been holding up many things anymore. The cross-play beta is over. It's out. So
Oh, it's
cross-play is
out?
available to every developer now.
Oh.
So I think they're not going to be a problem anymore. Hopefully we don't hear anything about that ever
Does that
again.
mean, does that mean games that tried to be crossplay but weren't are now crossplay, or is that like they
think
have to go
so.
in and do that?
No, I'm pretty sure. Well, I mean, they have to enable it, but like, I'm pretty sure they're free to go do that
Okay.
now. I mean,
'Cause I remember-
Rocket League's done it. Fortnite's done it. What other games have done it? I
Smite.
think
Smite
Smite's
just
done
did
it.
it.
Did Minecraft ever adapt to that? Because I know they were doing that whole thing where Microsoft and Nintendo were like shaking hands and being all nice to each other while laughing at Sony because they weren't letting them do crossplay with Minecraft. But I think that might be fixed now. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. What was the other game you said?
Smite.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. That's Smite's in there
just
too.
added that like 4 months ago, I think.
Okay, that's good. I'm happy to see crossplay coming to more games. I think this is the future of multiplayer games.
Yep.
Not being decided by which platform you choose.
Hashtag Smite's better than League of Legends.
Wait a minute.
Wait. long
whoa,
hashtag.
whoa.
Don't at me.
Cheat. That's
Oh,
part
so
of the
That's
hashtag.
part of the hashtag.
This is why you didn't want him on the podcast.
All right then.
It's not better, but Smite's pretty
All
fun.
right,
You
let's
should
get into
play
some
it.
more
cool.
interesting things, if I would say so
I rate it.
myself. The next thing is that there's a new Outlast game being teased, seemingly. The developer, I think
like
they're
me some horror.
developers. Is it Red Barrel or Red Baron? They
Red Baron.
they put out a picture on their Twitter of two hands being held, kind of like up like this, like as if you were trying to hold somebody from falling, and it's got that usual like night vision wash over it
Okay.
that you see in Outlast, and it said announcement coming soon. So don't know what that means. That was posted, I think, on Halloween.
Oh, okay.
Understandably,
They made the Blair Witch game, didn't they?
did they?
I'm not
The
sure.
one that just came out for
Yeah, real
that
quick.
was shown at
I
Xbox's
remember-
E3.
I remember when we saw it at E3, before we saw that it was a Blair Witch game, we thought it was the new Outlast.
Yeah.
Nico,
Yeah.
research. I do
What am I
remember. I look
Speaking
up
of-
who made the Blair Witch game that just
Speaking
came
of
out
that
this year.
game, was boring in my opinion.
Blair Witch?
Yeah,
I think so too.
I didn't. Like
Yeah, okay.
The way to get the good ending was
I heard it wasn't that
bonkers.
bad, but yeah,
No,
like-
it was pretty bad.
Oh,
It was really boring.
I remember because I watched Markiplier
Yeah,
play
same.
it, and like
There wasn't a lot of scary
yeah.
stuff in
It was
until
more-
like the end.
it was more like you had like the ambiance and stuff, and it's like,
Right.
oh, something scary is gonna happen, and it just doesn't for so long. So at some point, I'm just like, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not
Right.
scared.
Like so,
Oh,
it's,
yeah,
it's like teasing you as if it's like trying to get you to be like, oh, when is it actually gonna scare me? But then they do it too long that it doesn't actually matter.
But it was
anymore.
worse because
Yeah.
we're watching it, so like I'm sitting there and I'm
yeah.
like tuning out.
If you were
because,
playing
like,
it, maybe it would feel better.
maybe,
I don't know.
but, yeah.
Maybe
Like, I
maybe
was-
it's not a great watching game.
like on my dual monitor setup, I had like him playing it on one screen, and the other screen I just had like TFT. I'm just like playing League and like occasionally like watching Mark play, and I'm like, is it scary yet? Nah.
I'm looking at your laptop. I really want a Surface Book. Yes, Nico. What did you find?
So the Blair Witch game was made by a development group called Bloober Team, which also
Bloober
made
Team.
Layers of Fear.
Oh, Layers of Fear.
Oh,
that's the game. I
okay.
was
They did make another horror game.
I was like, I
that
knew
game
they made another
is
horror
probably
game.
better than this game.
It
Well,
says-
Layers of Fear,
Yeah.
It says under,
Absolutely.
How is the second one?
I don't
Because they
know.
came out with a second one. I didn't really hear much about it.
Yeah, me neither.
The first one I think was a pretty good game for the size of team that they are. I don't know how big they are, but they seem like a relatively small team compared to like a AAA studio.
Yeah. They made Layers of Fear. They also made another horror game called Observer. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I
That
think
was
that rings a bell.
It was one of the free games for PlayStation, I think.
Is it the whole
But
team? Eco?
it's
I
like
think
a,
so. So it's like
Yeah,
50 people.
That's not that big for a team for
Yeah,
a nice
seriously.
nice horror game. So I'll give it
Oh
to 'em.
yeah, I remember this game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like cyberpunk but horror.
Yeah, I remember this game.
Interesting.
You play like an old man detective.
Yep, I could see that.
That was a good game.
All right, well that's
take your
good.
word for it.
Hopefully they do better in the future with that. I don't what. Layers of Fear 2 came out not too long ago. How long was the development cycle on Blair Witch?
Probably not that long. Looking at the way the
At
game's
50
made,
people?
probably not that long.
F man. All right, we got a few more things here. So, something interesting happened this week. So this is about related to League of Legends. The LCS Players Association, which I'm assuming is a union of sorts to fight for the rights of the LCS players, the North American pro players, met with Riot Games and worked out a deal that allows the pro players to stream games while playing on the official LCS servers, aka it's called the Tournament Realm. These games are basically games that are set up with other pros. So you get together with the team, not particular part of the same LCS team, but you can get other people in, and you're playing like your role, and you're playing with other pros, and then you can stream that. These are not the official scrims. That's not what that is.
Yeah.
So this is related to the fact that NA pro players are somewhat limited in what they can do compared to other regions because for a few reasons. One, the one that this one addresses the most is that the servers for League of Legends as of like 2015-16 are in St. Louis, I believe, Missouri. So they're not near the pro scene at all, which is in LA. They have about a 70 ping over there, but when they play to play the game for pro, they play like very low ping because the server for that is right in the building.
Yeah.
So they get to practice their scrims on that, but if they want to go home and like stream to their fans, they can't. They can either practice solo queue seriously, or they just have to just kind of mess around because they don't really have the same experience as they
Yeah.
would on stage. So they don't get as much practice, which people presume is one reason why NA doesn't do as well at Worlds, because other regions have much closer servers because they're a lot smaller. I said as of 2015-16 because the servers used to be in LA, but then they realized that they should move them center country because it wants to cover the whole U.S., really all of North America. So that's a lot better spot for them, but unfortunately that means that the pro scene is having a tough time. So I think this is going to be good for them to be able to do something
fix one of the
interesting.
problems.
It also makes for some very interesting streams. A bunch of pros playing like pro level gameplay on a stream, and this is like something they're allowed to do now. So that's going to be pretty interesting. Any thoughts on that?
I don't watch Worlds. So
Awesome sauce.
All right.
it sounds cool.
Moving on to the next thing, we're going to talk about EA again.
Oh boy.
Go
So, NBA Live is a troubled basketball series. They have launched and not launched some games, which I'm going to
Good
get
way
into
to
in a
put it.
second. So, NBA Live 20 has been canceled, and this is the fourth time this decade that an NBA Live game has been canceled. Those years being 2011, 2012, 2016, and now 2019. 2011 was a game that wasn't doing well. It got canceled. 2012 was when they were restructuring the whole thing. 2016, I'm not exactly sure what happened there. I forget what that one was about. 2019, they're just like, things aren't working out great. We're going to put these on the next gen consoles, which I think doesn't make sense because that's what they kind of did last time. They looked ahead. They were like, all right, we're going to put this on the next gen consoles, get the hardware to do something interesting and put it out there. So, I mean, this is kind of interesting because NBA Live has always been touted as not as good as 2K, the NBA 2K games.
Yeah.
And at least since 2011 when things started to go awry for them, from what I was seeing, NBA Live 18 and 19 were actually pretty good. They 18 has a 72 on Metacritic and 19 has a 74, so that's a pretty solid game right there. And I heard that the story was like the actual single player campaign sort of thing going on there was actually the coolest part about it.
But
could
you take a picture of yourself and then put that person on the body
in the game
of a giant green Shrek?
Giant.
Could you do that in those games?
I don't think so.
But you can
0
do
out
that
of
in
10.
WWE 2K20.
Yeah, that game is so terrible.
Oh my
man.
god.
Best game.
That is
Best
disaster.
game. 2020.
Train wreck the game.
Holy shit. There
Best
might actually
game.
be a trainer that we don't know.
Honestly.
We would never know because you'd just be watching wrestling and all of a sudden,
You can make one.
probably
15
could.
out of
Okay.
7 stars.
Figured
really
15
good.
out of 7.
Jesus Christ. What?
that game has like a 50-something on
Zero.
Metacritic or
It's
less.
your old-fashioned
I'm
Jack
surprised I got a
Herbert
50.
rating.
50 just means average.
Yeah.
It's not your average game.
I mean, I don't know how often those bugs occur. Like, I don't know how often it's not happening because we've seen a lot of when it is happening. But
The fact that those videos exist
yeah,
and they're just
that they
playing the
happen
game
often.
normally. They're not like, all right, if you select this character, select these presets.
I love the
It's
guy
like
just spinning in circles
it's
in,
like-
in the pit. in the
exactly.
ring.
It's just like, nah, I'm just playing the game and this happened.
I forgot I actually had a quote here that makes this make more sense. Okay, so the quote from somebody at EA says, "We're not launching a new NBA Live HD product this season. Instead, we're expanding our vision, leaning hard into the new leading edge platforms, and taking the time to ensure we deliver against the opportunity for our players." That's an interesting statement. I did not catch that last part before. Deliver against the opportunity for our players.
Here at Black Market Gaming, we proofread everything we read.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And apparently, so does whoever wrote that. article.
Apparently. Or the person who said it.
Exactly. He's like, we promise to sell you against the game. It's like,
Yes.
Don't buy your stuff.
come again?
Whatever
it's like,
you
you
do.
heard me.
We are committed to making sure that you don't buy our game.
Oh, by the way,
EA does a good job at that.
in comparison,
Oh, yeah.
2K18 had an 84 on Metacritic, 2K19 had an 81, and 2K20 has a 76.
Oof.
They've gone downhill, actually. 18 was I think, the best regarded out of all of them. But that's in comparison to what the NBA Live games were. So it is critically, at least, considered better. Though they all have low user scores because the whole... You guys see the whole 2K20 thing with like the slot machines and all that? They have,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh my
they have like a whole
God.
casino in this
A little
basketball
casino.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone was pretty much saying, yeah, I think you guys made a mistake. You put a basketball
Game
in my casino, in my gambling game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, what? What's happening?
And it's just like, okay, you can make an argument for like Overwatch's loot boxes or whatever. But this is like, it could not get any more obvious. There is a roulette table.
Why?
There's a slot machine. You can't get any more literal than that when
Hey,
it comes
all you
to
basketball
gambling.
fans out there, tell me how often you go gambling.
All four of you.
That's what
I'm
I'm
kidding.
saying.
How many, like, are there slot machines at basketball arenas or something?
I want
Am
to
I missing
know.
something here?
You know, there's someone out there.
Oh, I
who's
went to a
excited for it.
basketball arena a couple months ago. I was
Did you
like,
see a roulette table?
No, I didn't.
Did you
Not at all.
see a craps table?
No.
All right, good.
Then what fucking good are you?
Whoa!
Oh my god!
God.
Not what good was the basketball game. What good are
See,
you
we told-
as a person?
We told you Jackie was it's a little.
Sorry, a little bit of my real self came out there.
Yeah, we
You
told him
did a good job,
we
Wesley.
told him he needed to comment down before the podcast. He was doing a great job, but You know,
Hold on, give me
it
a
happens
sec.
sometimes.
Give me a sec. Okay,
All right.
Forget.
Give me a sec.
You calm down.
I'm good.
All
And
right,
we
cool.
got one more EA story for you guys today. But this is a good one, and it's going to generate some
It
discussion, I
better
hope.
be.
So EA is looking to remaster/remake some old titles.
Woot woot.
So
Go Madden.
in
'Cause
their
when you run out of
recent
Hey,
ideas, that's
no.
what you do.
in their recent
Forget
quarterly
I'm
investors
sorry,
call.
hold on.
What?
Forget remaking Madden.
They already remake Madden.
Forget
Don't you want to play? Don't you want to play Madden again and be the Eagles and have fucking what's his face?
Forget introducing Madden.
They're gonna remake.
2015
By the way,
remake.
does anybody remember why they called Madden the Madden that came out with the Xbox One and PS4 Madden 25?
They did?
I think it was like for the 25th anniversary or something like that. But like,
Yeah.
That doesn't make
I think
sense.
so.
but
Why
why?
did they do
But
that?
they called it that, and now it's gonna come around in 5 years and bite them in the ass.
Yeah.
It's like you did this.
No, it's gonna be called Madden 25th.
I was like, what the hell is going on here, man?
I'll bet you that's what it's called.
But more seriously, so in their recent quarterly investors call, EA COO and CFO Blake Jorgensen laid out the publisher's plans for the upcoming fiscal year, which runs from April 20th to March 2021. April 2020 to March 2021. Among other things, during that period, EA plans to quote-unquote deliver some exciting remasters of fan favorites, including the upcoming Command and Conquer remaster, which has already been announced. So this is interesting because also recently they remastered Burnout Paradise, and that sold
Yes.
pretty well. I think people enjoyed that. You and I played it, Trey. I think did you have it too, Jack?
Yeah, I played it.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. It was a good little thing to come back to. Nico, what you got some fun?
I got answers.
Oh yeah.
Lay it on me.
This is from a Polygon article. Forget Arnold's.
I don't mess
Article
with polygons, man.
What
Shut
that
up.
means.
From February 1st,
Glorious
2013.
Nico,
It
tell us your
says,
secrets.
this year's Madden... Hold on. Let me find this thing.
Amazing.
This year's Madden NFL title will be called Madden NFL 25 as a nod to the simulation football franchise's 25th anniversary, and fan voting for its cover will pit NFL legends against today's best players. So yeah, so it's
Whoopee.
called that for the 25-year anniversary of the football.
So they didn't talk about
simulation
what they're
games.
gonna do in 5 years. When it comes 2024 and they're making Madden 25.
They could have
Probably
just
gonna
named
be
it.
2K.
They could have just named it Madden, whatever the year is, and then anniversary.
Or like 25th anniversary edition or something like that.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Also, what's the point of calling it 2K?
Because it's made by 2K.
It is.
Yeah, the 2K
Yeah.
the 2K games are made by
It's a-
2K, the publisher.
They ran
And then
it-
it also goes along with the year. So it's like a double entendre kind of thing going on there.
Sorry, buddy.
Well, that is a big egg on my face. I was gonna make a joke about because 2K15 doesn't shorten 2015 at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. It actually, yeah, it is kind of funny,
That's,
isn't it?
that's unfortunate.
But
But it looks like now you're the
Turns out
newest
there's
member
actually-
of the Goof Troop.
yep, that's me.
So what do you guys think we could see?
Forget that's me.
The things that I wrote down were Mass Effect, the trilogy, which people have been wanting to be remastered for a while.
Yes,
And
yes,
that
yes,
also
yes,
goes
yes.
along with Dead Space trilogy, which people
No,
also
no,
want to
no,
be
no,
remastered.
no, no.
But the studio that made that is unfortunately shut down, so
Dragon
we don't know
Age.
who would do that. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that one. There's Dragon Age.
Me and Trey played Dragon Age, and I shared my
Which one?
Inquisition.
Oh yeah.
They played the beginning of it.
And I shared my fucking my butt story.
Oh yeah.
Your butt story?
You're
If you want to find that gem, you got to go look around our old projects. Isn't that on your Final Hour channel?
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't
think
think
so.
the episode itself was that good, but that story made it great, and it completely obliterated every memory I had of that game. I don't remember any of what happened in that game because of Wesley's.
Now we got a link to the
Booty
butt story
story.
in the description.
What are we doing? Was it butt cancer?
Yep.
Yeah, we called it your ass cancer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, ass cancer.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
yeah. It wasn't. Jack's looking at me, waiting for me to explain.
I know about as much as I did 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
We'll tell you. We'll tell you afterwards.
Yeah, after
We'll
the
tell you
podcast.
afterwards.
Here's a quick little
Synopsis.
snippet of the
Yeah, there's gonna be a clip right about here, but on Jack's screen, right about here. Right here on my screen.
What am I putting up?
It'll just be a big thumbs up,
Dude, I don't even know.
maybe with a rubber duck on. Like
This is
the tip
going
of
to
a
be
thumb.
This is going to be a short little clip from the butt cancer video. It's going to be right here.
I hope I can find it.
And then
You
on
guys are-
Trey's,
It's on your
and then
channel.
On Trey's screen,
It's
gonna
on
be
your
a
other
big
channel.
thumbs up.
You guys are not catering to the audio listeners right now.
We are not.
Tip of the thumb.
All right,
No,
we
the
t-
audio listeners, they know it's happening.
I apologize.
They
they can just
know
imagine.
they're being violated.
What? All right, keep
What?
going. Keep
All
going.
right.
Other games that could be remastered. Skate,
Yes,
Skate 3
please,
especially.
God,
Um,
please.
They're not gonna.
which people have been wanting to come out for a while now. People have also been asking if they go to backwards compatibility. I don't know if that ever happened. On Xbox One, I mean.
Real quick, I was laughing because Nico looked at me, peeked out from behind the TV, and just goes,
He shook his head. Also, older Battlefield titles, and including the Bad Company series, which you've only gotten 2 entries in, which I like
That would
Bad
be-
Company 2 quite a bit.
That would be good.
So I would like to see that again. And then more Burnout titles as well. You could do other Burnout games. Any other suggestions? Any discussion? What do you guys want to see?
Who made Need for Speed Most Wanted? Was that EA?
Yeah, they own a Need for Speed series, right?
Yeah, that's
I
Or
pretty.
is that Ubi?
No, it's EA.
"You're getting
It's EA.
Has to be.
I was
Pretty
going
sure.
to. I was going to bring up. I don't know if it was
Yeah, it's EA.
EA
You're
that
right.
made this game, but was it
No, it's not on here."
Driver San Francisco? Was that EA? It was the game where you played a guy and he could possess other people and other cars.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm doing research.
Yes, Nico, do the research. I just thought about it. They could actually do Mirror's Edge, the original.
Oh, that's
I don't know
true.
how much of a demand there will be for that. Catalyst didn't sell very well, didn't score very well either. But I think the first one's probably better, so maybe that would do better. And you could make it look and play really nicely. Could you imagine that game at 144?
What am I searching up?
Driver San Francisco.
No, but what am I looking for here?
Who made it?
Who's the developer?
Developer.
That would be Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. It looks like.
That's a Ubisoft
Yeah,
game.
it says Ubisoft Reflections, Montreal.
Just let me know,
Romania,
Nico. You
Ukraine.
just pulled
Yeah,
Jack's webcam.
Huh?
you just
Jack's webcam
you just
is
tilted Jack's webcam and then put it back.
Yeah, it's fine now.
your chair.
Driver San Francisco was a pretty cool game. It is one of the only games I think in existence that, for at least a mission, you play from a second-person perspective. Instead of first person or third person, you play from a second person.
That's
perspective.
weird.
You are.
That sounds cool though.
You are. So the whole concept is you possess other people and other cars.
Oh, God,
You
don't play
possess
sound.
one person
It's muted.
who is in a crime, in a crime gang, and they're like, all right, my mission is I'm going to chase down this one car. Who am I chasing? You're chasing down that car. And you're like, wait, that's the car that the real me is in. And then the mission starts, you're in the driver's seat of the crime car, but you're controlling your car.
Oh.
What? That's okay. That's actually pretty crazy.
Yeah,
That is interesting.
it's pretty cool. Second person perspective.
But it's Ubisoft, so we're not getting a remaster of it from EA. Anyone else? I know you would want Skate 3.
Yes,
I'm sure someone here would want to see
Curious.
Mass Effect.
I want to see the Mass Effect also.
Didn't they make the old Harry Potter games?
EA?
Yeah.
That's a good point. There's actually a lot of really old EA games that ones you don't remember or think of that could probably come out for
Spore?
Or Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup, because they'd be like EA games. Challenge everything.
Forget challenge.
Wes is looking up a list of EA games so we could see what kinds of things.
It's in the E.
But yeah,
Stop.
there's obviously other Need for Speed games out there.
Oh, they can
There's,
remake Anthem.
Gee! Yo!
That's a good point.
They could. They could.
He's sick, man. Oh no.
I
They
hope
should.
they
Yo, they
revive
should.
that
They
shit,
should
man.
actually. They should actually remaster the first Titanfall and drop it on the new consoles.
Ooh.
Because it could look really good. I know it's recent and it seems
No,
kind
I
of
just want
silly.
them to make Titanfall 3.
That's true. Actually, yeah. Because never mind. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna remaster the first Titanfall.
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much it. Like Mass Effect.
There's like I said. There's old
Dragon
games.
Age.
You have to see what old games.
I know.
there are.
I got to go to old.
SSX. There you go.
Oh yeah,
People would love to
I
see
forgot
that.
people loved it.
Was that like Motorsport or something?
Isn't it?
No, it's the snow game.
Snow game.
Snowboarding game.
Yeah.
It's a snow sport game.
Oh.
Huh. Must be thinking of something else.
I don't know which one would be best, but I think I played one of those. I used to go to my orthodontist, and they would have what did they have? They had a GameCube and a PS2, I think.
Yeah.
And the PS2 always had SSX on it. I think that's what it was. I don't remember which game it was, but it was. I think it was SSX. It was some sort of snowboarding game, and I enjoyed that one quite a bit. And I do not know which one it was. That was actually probably the most PS2 I've ever played. Is that game specifically? Because I didn't have PS2. There's a lot of games, Joe Wesley.
Yeah,
you're not gonna.
I'm just looking through.
You're not gonna.
I mean, people kind of like Brutal Legend.
Oh,
but-
that just reminds me.
Brutal Legend would be cool.
They remade it. They
remade
remade one of the Bulletstorm games. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they did.
What
So
about
that-
Spore?
you could, if you really want to. What else is there?
Want to make a?
Oh yeah, we were no Command and Conquer's the thing. I
you
mentioned
want
that
to make
earlier.
Slender Man, but give him normal human nipples?
Oh, we want
What's the
Spore is
we want Connect 4 for iOS.
We want a remake of that.
Connect
Yeah,
4.
man. Let's go.
Cricket 97 for Windows.
I don't know
In
if the ones
DOS.
Yes, please.
Fucking DOS.
Yeah, this looks like it.
That's
Hag.
crazy.
What?
Huh?
This is
Yeah.
SSX. It's this one.
Oh
For
yeah.
the PS2. Yeah,
think.
that looks like it.
The
It even
page
says
broke.
this
Oh, look
game
at him.
needs a
See,
remaster.
exactly. There you go. All right, remaster that game. Yeah, I'll play it.
The
I'll
page
buy
broke.
it, man.
You have to remember this is EA.
That's fair.
Well, they said they want to do it, so.
They
And-
want to do a lot of things.
Well, at this point,
Like
this
make
is all
good
they.
games.
This is all they have. They failed Anthem. They failed both Need for Speed games, especially this one, the most recent one. Burnout Paradise Remastered was their they're one of their best selling games recently. Anthem was actually their best selling game recently, but no one's playing it.
Yeah, that community's dead and
I
shit.
think it's actually like the 5th best selling game this year. So
That's a shame.
My computer is shitting.
that also means if they fix it, there's a lot of copies out in the wild for people to pick it back up
man,
again.
what is happening?
So we'll see.
You already know there's
I
like
think we're done.
30 of them sitting in a row.
we're not gonna sit here and look at these
At
lists
GameStop.
forever.
Go ahead.
So that's it for our wares, which was a bit flat, but I'll take it.
Fuck.
Cheap.
And next we're gonna watch a trailer. We got this week's trailer is for The Witcher. That's going to be what the hell is going on with your graphics card? Holy shit, Nico!
Yeah, this is what happens
Oh,
on
wow.
Discord on my laptop. I'm not sure why it happens.
What the fuck? So
If I could find the link to
The Witcher has a show coming out on Netflix based on the books, not the games. Don't get that mixed up.
Yes.
But it looks pretty good. Who here hasn't seen it yet? The trailer.
Me.
You seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the two of you guys haven't seen it,
Yes.
and then Nico's seen it as well. So we're gonna watch that,
Didn't I put it in there?
and we're going
Yeah,
to
this
see.
is what you put in here. Let me
Yeah,
find
we're
the
gonna
video.
see. It's also in the document, but
It's Superman.
I know, but that's open on my computer.
Why
now.
am I reminded
Oh.
of Malfoy's dad?
But he actually decided to shave his mustache this time.
yes, he did. All right. So we got a trailer here. Let's see what let's see what's about. See what's popping. This comes out, I think, within the next month, doesn't it?
I don't know,
think
I
it's
don't
recent.
know.
I
this
thought
was
it's
a-
like December or something. We'll find out. Maybe it has a release date on it. All right, here we go, boys. Here we go.
Hold on, let me get this shit set up. This is the problem with doing this on my laptop is it's slower, especially when we're recording on the laptop.
His
as
laptop
well.
has an FX processor. We shouldn't do this.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I don't think it has discrete GPU either. So,
Yikes. Yeah, this is a bad idea.
No, it's fine.
oh boy.
Once it gets
Well,
going, it's good.
Also,
Yes.
unmute it,
Stop
please.
Playing. It keeps playing by itself. Chill, yo. All right,
There we go.
unmute.
Unmute. Full
that.
screen.
Put it in my ears.
Well-oiled machine.
All right,
Alrighty.
starting this on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, there it is. Oh god, this
Oh,
is not going to run.
Yeah.
well.
Okay. We're not doing this again.
we're cutting this out.
No, we're not.
I'm not cutting this out. Oh god. Okay.
All right,
Are we?
All right, and we're not buffering.
Created by magic.
Turn
Not gonna be able to
turn this
watch
up a
it
little
full
bit, Nico.
quality.
Roaming the continent,
We don't want your kind here.
hunting monsters
Yo, my laptop is steamy.
for a price.
Yeah, this was a bad idea.
I thought you'd
I told
have
you we shouldn't
fans
do
or
this.
heroes
Sorry.
or something.
It's not that bad.
I had them filed down.
People call you a monster too.
I recommend going to watch this trailer on your own. It's on YouTube. On Netflix's channel.
No, don't do that.
Shut
All
up.
of our choices draw our destinies closer.
If he is out there, there is still hope.
Vile. Don't judge me.
They say witches can't feel human emotion. What do you believe in?
RTX.
Lesser. Greater. Middling. It's all the same. Princess Cirilla is your destiny. I can't protect her. If you dismiss it, Girls! You will unleash true calamity upon us all. I'll take that chance.
Bruh.
Oh yeah.
The Witcher 2, the movie.
Yep,
the
December
game,
20th. That's the date I was
movie,
looking for.
The TV
So,
show.
I know that wasn't the best
series.
experience of watching that because Nico's laptop is dick, but
Hey.
I think that
Blame
I think
Wesley.
it looks dope.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm actually really excited for that.
Looks good. I played Witcher 3, and that's my extent of the.
I watched
Witcher
Hyde play a
experience.
little bit of Witcher 3.
I've tried playing it twice and I can't get into
I've
it.
played a lot of it now. I still have to get back to it because it's such a long game, but I'm going to finish it eventually,
I think
and I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Don't
Patty
just
is
what
like
Hyde's
out
eventually.
right now.
Don't do the side quests in the city, because that will.
Too late.
Lol.
I know it eats up
That'll
your time.
drag
That's actually why I stopped
the
playing the game
gameplay
the
to
first time, and then I
standstill.
came back to it. and I was like, or not the first time, but like that's why I stopped playing the game one time, and I came back to it. And I was like, I'm going
leave.
to those fucking islands over there. I'm not doing these side quests anymore.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna at least try it out. The like effects and stuff look really good.
Yeah.
And the actors that they chose for it look good.
Yeah,
too.
I like
So-
what's his name as Geralt quite a bit now.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
compared to when we first saw him, he looks a lot better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I have to say, and I can't really speak to the other characters because like
I
they're
don't
not,
know
they're
any
nothing
of them.
they're nothing like they are in the they're not really anything like they are in the game. But like
Yeah.
that's I don't know how the book describes them exactly, so I don't know
Yeah.
what the true to form is. But I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna at least
December
try it out.
20th. That's a perfect holiday break series to watch. Binge
It's
it.
true. Yeah.
I don't know how long it's going to be. Hopefully, it's good length. Good length. Moving on to our entertainment and tech news section of the podcast.
We get the podcast.
We have just one news story to talk about briefly. It's a big news, but I don't know if there's much to say about it. Google has bought Fitbit for $2.1 billion, which is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Especially for buying a company. So Fitbit has more, Fitbit, as you guys might know, they make a lot of fitness watches. They've made them for years, fitness trackers as well. And they started with the trackers. They've kind of transitioned into having smartwatches as well. They have more than 28 million active users and they've sold over 100 million devices. So this is a pretty big acquisition for Google. Presumably, this means that Google is going to have smartwatches in the near future.
Yeah.
Because they don't have their own with their phone lines and everything like that.
Yeah. A lot of people were just speculating that there's gonna be a more wearables for Google, like Google wearables and stuff like that, because Google is obviously a big software company, and Fitbit has the hardware.
But when's the last wearable before this that you've heard of Google having?
Oh,
the
yeah, I
Google
know.
Glass. That's what the last thing
Yeah.
was probably. So this is interesting. Also, the announcement was hilariously coupled with a promise that they will not be selling your intimate health data for ads. They said that out of the gate. I was like, great. I'm sad. It's sad that you have to say that, but thank you, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So, yeah, that's all there is for the tech news. There's a few more things that popped up recently that aren't on my list here. Recently, Microsoft's adoption of Chromium for their Edge browser is moving into beta, and they have a new logo for Edge, which is pretty cool. It's like a wave now instead of it's not based on the old E anymore for the Internet Explorer. And then there was one other thing that I saw recently, but I can't recall what it was.
Almost in perfect harmony, but
Yeah.
I can't remember what the other thing was, but we do have some tech news that's also part of our news blast. So I guess we'll jump into that. The news blast, boys, ladies and gentlemen.
It's the afternoon, a tad later, Netbuster come blast.
No.
But it's no November, so can't.
But we can't do that. So the podcast is
So
canceled.
what's it called for this month? That's what we got to figure
The
out.
hold in your blast.
The hold in your
the
blast.
conserving your nut blast.
All right.
Yeah, let's go with that.
We're going with that.
The conserving your nut blast.
Jack is regretting a lot of things right now.
Oh God! All right, so Sony is shutting down their TV streaming service, PlayStation View. So, do you guys know what this is?
Nope. That's why they're shutting it down.
Lol.
Shutting down. What was it?
PlayStation View.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That.
My reaction too. I was like, oh yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, so it's been going on for about 4 or 5 years now. I think it's a streaming service similar to Netflix, but more like a cable TV service. There's other services like this, like YouTube TV is a thing like this, Sling TV is a thing like this, Hulu has their own TV thing. So basically, it's a subscription service. You just pay for it, you get it through the internet, but you have channels you can actually watch rather than just watching things on demand. But it hasn't worked out for them. They say that they led the charge in it, but it's a very competitive pay TV market. That's what they call it. So they're going to shut it down. The service will end on January 30th, 2020, and not much more information has been shared than that.
my parents use that, so.
Oops.
Oh,
I
real?
have some bad news for them.
Tell them it's ending at the end of January.
So what does that mean for?
Go find something else.
I don't know what it means for people who have like a yearly subscription or something like that.
Right.
That I don't know.
Is there anything else like that that's out there?
There's YouTube TV. Like I mentioned, there's YouTube TV, there's Sling TV, and there's Hulu TV. Those are all like that.
Okay.
On top of that, you can buy and rent movies and TV shows on PlayStation Network, just like you can on like Xbox Live and stuff like that too. So you have access to stuff that way. I'm assuming if you have like a year-long subscription to it, you might get like compensated in some form of PlayStation Wallet credit or something like that. I don't know. We'll find out. Someone in the comments mentions that maybe this means that the PS4 will get a YouTube TV app because apparently it doesn't have one right now. Probably because it was competing with PlayStation View. Sling TV is not on there. I know that for a fact because Sling TV is owned by Microsoft now. So they are on Xbox. And then I don't know if Hulu TV has an app on there either. I think they do.
Is it not
Maybe?
just in the Hulu app?
Maybe it is.
Is it like part of your Hulu subscription, or is
No,
it
I
like
think it's something
another
different.
thing?
Hulu's weird.
Hulu's very weird.
They have TV. They have Hulu. They have Hulu without ads, as if you ever wanted the original. But there you go.
They also only have like some shows
That are exclusive.
that are exclusive.
Yeah.
But like part of them are exclusive, and then the other parts are not exclusive.
Nico has something to say.
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
Why are you shaking the TV?
Why are you shaking the TV?
Just shaking it.
That's making noise.
All right, and then we have a lot of big like numbers news over here. So first
Numbers.
The first things up is the Nintendo Switch has sold over 40 million units, over 41 specifically, and that's been in about 2.5 years. So that's actually a pretty big number, and based on what we know, that's actually getting dangerously close to the Xbox One.
It's a really big number.
We don't know what the Xbox One sales are exactly, but
Yeah, that's
based
a
on
big
things
console.
we've seen
It's
through
like
other
almost 7.
analytics, we believe the Xbox One is around 50 million, 50, 60 million. So 40 million is getting close. It's only been 2.5 years. The Xbox One's been out for 7 almost. So 6 right now, actually. 7 next year.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that's one.
It's to be expected.
And then beyond that, you have the PlayStation 4, which has officially hit 102.8 million sales. And the reason why I specify that is because that means it's now the second best-selling home console of all time. Short to only their original, their second console, the PS2,
Obviously.
which was commonly bought as a DVD player, which is why it sold so many units.
Why are you hitting
That's
me with
around
that?
150 million. The PS4 is probably not going to get to 150 million. That's a lot more. That's another 50% of what they've already sold. So, yes, Nico.
So from what I found, the Xbox One sold that many consoles by January of this year. So
Okay, so they're probably around 50, maybe.
maybe like 45ish.
Depends on how fast they sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is all based on speculation and other information we get from people like EA and stuff like that about different sales.
Oh.
So,
Says Nico Partners.
oh,
Anyways.
but yeah, they just recently surpassed the Wii and the PS1. That's what they just did. So they surpassed their own original console and the Wii, which was a crazy phenomenon back in 2009, whatever it was. That was a time.
For a very split second, I forgot there was a console named the Wii. So when you said they surpassed the Wii, I was very confused.
It's like what the hell?
They surpassed the Wii.
Forget
like,
the Wii.
It's like the white.
Don't forget the pelvic woo.
Little pelvic wheel.
We still have 2 more of these. After 9 months, Apex Legends has surpassed 70 million total players. So your game's getting big. And that's total players. So that's people who have downloaded the game and played it, basically, because it's free. So, but that's a lot of people. I mean, I think Fortnite's at a pretty big number, but Apex is up there now. So that's.
I heard Fortnite's dying.
I don't know.
I heard
Well-
Apex is dying.
I heard Destiny was dying. That's a lie.
I heard Smite was dying. I heard
Dude,
Mixer was dying.
every time that a game like
Has anything
the number
bad.
has any kind of decrease at all, even if it's like a 0.1% decrease, automatically the game's dying.
Exactly.
Well, no.
It's
Like,
like-
I'm actually hearing that like Fortnite is like it's just dropped
Yeah.
significantly.
I mean, generally, it's been past its
past its prime.
prime for
Yeah.
at
So when
least
that
a year
update
now.
came out,
That's what I'm
it
saying.
just-
Like the update like helped for like 2 days, and
It's like
then
that
Yeah.
update came out and it just shut down the servers, and we were like, "Sweet, we don't have to play this game anymore."
well, yeah, and then like what I'm saying is like Overwatch. Freaking. We'll talk about it later. Fortnite like Chapter 2 came out and it helped for like 2 days or something, and then like it started declining again. So it's just like, oh well, nobody cares about this.
I lied, by the way. We have 2 more of these numbers things. The next one is Pokemon Go has surpassed $3 billion in lifetime gross revenue. $3 billion
I'm
made
not really that surprised.
from that mobile game where you can basically buy cosmetics and Pokeballs.
Half of which was Yusef.
Exactly.
Exactly, our friend Yusuf.
So that's a lot of money
He's
for
the one guy
Niantic,
still
which
playing
was a
it.
very small developer when this started, and maybe they're still somewhat small. I don't know, but also to the Pokemon Company and Nintendo and everybody else. So they're making bank over there.
Oh yeah, people are still definitely heavily invested in Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure why, because I just dropped out of it not long after it came out. But I mean, hell, it's still going on strong. As a matter of fact, I think it's
Oh yeah, that's another thing.
Isn't it like one of the
in the-
highest points of revenue for like the Pokemon Company?
It wouldn't surprise me at
It's
all.
one of them, probably.
Yeah, because most people wouldn't guess this. The games, like the mainline Pokemon games, don't make Nintendo like a lot of money.
No.
Like like I'm pretty sure what is it? The TGC, the trading card game, it's TCG,
Yeah.
makes them the most.
Really?
Then it's like the show and like other stuff like
Somehow.
that. The game,
Yeah, because
I don't know if these numbers are true, but I think the game makes them somewhere around like 12%, something like that. Like a small number like
most
that.
of the games, this is at least my opinion about them. Most of the games are like you play them once and then you never need to play them again.
Yeah, you usually only need to play one generation of Pokemon to get the Pokemon experience. So that's probably what most casual
Yeah.
people do.
Yeah.
Unless you were younger and you had like, a Game Boy and you played all of these games. But
I played all of them.
I wish I played more of them. But I only played Red when I was younger. Fire Red specifically.
I played Red. I played Emerald, which is still the best one ever made. Do not at me
Oh no, you don't want this conversation.
because it's true.
You don't want this conversation.
Because it's true.
You
Pokemon Emerald is the best Pokemon game ever made.
All right, so to @Jack, you're gonna put up his Twitter handle right here,
Yep,
just right here.
that's totally.
Give
my
him
Twitter handle.
every comment
It's right here.
and concern you have
This is my Twitter
About
about-
anything.
about Pokemon.
if you want to voice your complaints, please email wesley.jones@gmail.com.
Forget Wesley Jones.
I don't think that's it, Chief. But
That's not my email.
Good. Yeah,
Well, now they know.
Actually, if you email that email, you'll probably be emailing somebody else.
Oof.
Just letting you know. That's probably not.
So if it is
Actually,
an
yeah,
actual,
do
if you
that.
find out that it is an actual person, tell them to have a good day.
Please do.
And then how Pokemon Emerald is the best Pokemon.
Stop.
So let me just. It was actually later in the list here, but I'll just jump to it to get out of the way. So there's one more big numbers thing, and this is probably the most exciting out of all of them. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This was revealed
Sucks.
today, by the way, is the best-selling fighting game of all time.
Not surprised at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 15.71 million sales.
Not, is that like
you were completely and utterly wrong. Forget.
I could not have been more wrong.
Wow, you're having a pretty bad streak on this podcast. God.
so? Is that across like all games or is it just
No, just Ultimate.
Okay, just Ultimate? Yeah, that's not surprising at all.
Yeah.
Because like I don't think there's a single person who's like Smash Bros. Objectively sucks. I think it's like anyone who doesn't play Smash is like it's not a game for me. But they have like they've probably gotten Ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
It's Smash Ultimate. Like what's not to like about the game?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I mean, other than the netcode. That's the big thing, I'd say.
Don't get me started on that.
So I mean, that's pretty good to hear, though. Honestly, it's nice to see that like they've taken that mantle. I don't know who had it before them, but there it is. They've.
I'd imagine it'd be Mortal
game.
Kombat.
Probably, I was gonna say either Mortal Kombat or probably Marvel vs. Capcom.
That is a pretty wide
Probably
appeal.
3.
Well, from what I remember of watching Maximilian Dude, because these words are not my own, fighting games don't tend to sell well,
Yeah.
like at all.
They're
Yeah.
very niche audiences,
And the two most popular ones
especially
right
hardcore
now,
ones.
yeah, the two most popular ones right now are Mortal Kombat and Smash.
Yeah.
All the other ones, it's like you have your competitive scene and then you have the casual scene.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like for Mortal Kombat and Smash, you have the competitive scene and then you have the
Everyone else.
casual scene.
Everyone else. You have the competitive scene, and then you have everyone else. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's the difference is like night and day.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was reading. I'm just gonna bring this up real quickly because I want to mention it on the podcast. I was reading a really good article, a really good interview with the CEO, or I guess not the CEO actually. He's the co-founder of Riot Games, Mark Merrill, and they were talking about like why did it take 10 years to make new games after you started this company 10 years ago. Actually, the company was started beyond that, but League of Legends came out 10 years ago, and then. One of the things they were talking about was that like the games that they're making, like Riot makes games for small like niche audiences, and then they grow on their own, and that's how League of Legends is. League of Legends is a complicated game. It's not an easy game to get into. It's not an easy game to get good at in a short amount of time, but when you do, and it's very fun and it's very addictive, and a lot of people have obviously share that sentiment because it is like 8 million daily players and 100 million monthly players or whatever the hell the number was. And so they're talking about that's the same thing they're going for with the fighting game, with the tactical shooter, and with the MMO, and even the card game. How they're focusing on, we're going to make this the best it can be for the people who care about this kind of game the most, and then we hope that it'll expand outwards like League of Legends has as well. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a good way to focus on it.
Yeah.
Also, just like the track record that MOBAs have in terms of like how successful they become, it's like such a gamble
Yeah.
to try to make something.
Dude,
that
there's only
people
like a
will
few.
play.
There's only a few really good ones.
Yeah.
Like really
I think
League,
it's like
Dota.
League, Dota, Smite,
And
Heroes
then-
of the Storm.
Yeah.
And even Heroes of the Storm is like,
Dying.
it's like, it's not dying, but it's like Blizzard doesn't.
Blizzard doesn't
Yeah,
care about
yeah.
it anymore.
There's like,
They
I
could keep
remember
it going.
seeing there was like I think it was like a Twitter post that was like a photo of all the entire dev team for Heroes of the Storm at the current moment, and it was like 8 people. I was so depressed,
Yikes.
but they're doing good stuff. It's still going strong.
And last thing I want to mention about that, the interview is on VentureBeat. If you guys want to check that out, by the way, I think it's really good. So we got a few more things to go through the news blast, and then we're gonna move on to the big boy today, Blizzard, and BlizzCon, and Overwatch.
Hopefully, this is the last time we talk about Blizzard.
Diablo.
Stop doing stuff,
And
Blizzard,
Diablo.
please. We're tired of covering you.
So, a few things. Nick, I'm gonna smack
CEO
you.
Says specifically, "Fuck you" to Wesley Jones.
We're
So-
doing stuff.
Xbox Live Gold for the month, which started whatever. I guess by the time you guys hear this, it would be about 7 or 8 days ago. You can get Sherlock Holmes: The Devil's Daughter for free on Xbox One for the whole month, and The Final Station on Xbox One from the middle of the month to the middle of next month. And as for the other games, you have Star Wars Jedi Starfighter from the original Xbox for
Dude, I
the first
played that.
for the first half of this month, and then you have Joyride Turbo on Xbox 360 for the second half of this month. In terms of PlayStation Plus for the month, which started, well, it actually starts tomorrow for us, but it'll have started 3 days ago. By the time you guys hear this podcast, you'll have Neo and Outlast 2. So those are pretty good. That's a pretty good lineup right there. Xbox or PlayStation definitely has the better lineup this month. That's gonna be pretty cool. And then for the Epic Game Store, by the time you guys hear this podcast, Nuclear Throne and Ruiner will be free until November 14th. And then that's all that news. And then the last thing to talk about today, which kind of came up shortly before the podcast started, is that Gio Corsi has left PlayStation. He was the senior director at PlayStation, but he's most commonly known for being the PlayStation Vita's biggest supporter at the company. If you ever watched PSX a few years ago, he was on stage and talking about different games that are coming out. Because remember, PSX always showcased smaller games.
And
And
is he the guy that showed off when the PS4 got unveiled for the first time? Is he that guy? Is he a guy who kind of talks like, "And now I'm gonna show you the PS4 Pro."
you talking about Jack Trenton?
That's probably
That's Jack Trenton.
That
I
guy,
think that's Jack
that
Trenton.
guy just looks like Slender Man.
No, Gio's more of a big dude, and he's So if you remember from that PSX, he was on stage and he got any game that would land on Vita, he was like, "And it's on Vita," and he hold his Vita up, and he's like all excited about it. That's how I remember him. But yeah, he left PlayStation. I don't really know why. I didn't read too far into it, but it's kind of interesting because we've had a lot of people leave.
That's the guy.
Which guy? The guy on the left? Oh, that's Gio Corsi. Yeah.
He's looking at my.
I'm talking about what Wes is looking at. Pull that picture up again. You talking about this guy or this guy, Jack?
This guy.
No, you fool.
Which guy were you talking about? That guy or that guy?
I don't think he's in that picture.
Oh, so you're just talking about Sean Layden then?
Maybe.
All right, never mind. Forget it.
He's like a skinny ass dude and has a voice that sounds like he's always whispering all the time. He's talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about, honestly.
PS4 Pro.
Forget the PS4 Pro.
Alrighty.
All right, we have a big boy to discuss today.
Yeah.
So as you all know, BlizzCon happened this past weekend, and what was rumored was true. Diablo 4 is a thing. Overwatch 2 is a thing.
Which, let's
Massive
be clear,
people were killed.
Diablo 4 was not a surprise because they literally said before last BlizzCon
They
that they're
did.
working on Diablo 4.
Yeah, they were like, don't expect anything from it, and then people expected things from it anyway.
And then got upset that there wasn't anything.
Didn't they say the same thing about Overwatch 2?
No.
That they were making Overwatch 2?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think it
Because I
ever...
remember that being a joke in the actual conference. Like, allow me to actually make it official that we're making Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
was a-
I don't
that
think
was
they
a
ever
funny-
talked about it. I don't remember. I think they probably talked about if they were going to make a sequel in the past and said, maybe, maybe not. But
Oh yeah,
we have it now.
What it was.
So
Jeff Kaplan is always funny whenever he goes on stage at BlizzCon.
Yeah, he's a funny dude.
He's a cool dude.
how do we want to go through this? There's so much shit here.
Well,
Well,
I'm
it all
basically
started
just
with a
gonna
Hearthstone
list.
tour.
All right,
Let's
so
throw
let's
it
let
all.
Nico go through it. Nico, carry the conversation.
What are we starting with?
Huh? Blizzard, anything.
all
Go
started-
wherever you want.
It all started with a Hearthstone tournament.
No.
Oh, shit.
No.
It did.
We're not going all the way
No.
back there.
No.
Wait, first we have to go back. All the way back. All right, where are we going?
Okay, so I'm gonna basically read off all the stuff that that's news for the first Overwatch and for what's coming to Overwatch 2. So, new content to Overwatch. You have a new game mode called Push for quick play and competitive that will also be played in Overwatch League, OWL.
Yes.
4 new maps with more to be announced. Those
Indeed.
maps being in Toronto, Gothenburg, Monte Carlo, and Rio de Janeiro. I don't know if I said that correctly. Close enough.
Yeah, De Janeiro. It's
They were
fine.
making fun of me last podcast for saying
yeah.
that. Keep going.
I was one of them.
Where's the second one?
Gothenburg.
Gothenburg?
It's Kirby.
Freaking Kirby.
Pure beer.
Multiple new heroes. 2 of which that we know, Echo and I don't know how to pronounce the other one.
Sojourn. Yeah.
Sojourn. For more to be announced in the future. And then an updated game engine and UI. Not a different game engine, just an updated one. So it's like they've
It's like a new
they've
version
refined the
of-
engine.
Yeah.
They've
things
refined
look
it. It's the same
better.
engine, but things look better.
And then there's the fact that we're getting. Should I mention that now, or are you gonna say that
What?
later? We're gonna get at least one more Overwatch hero between now and the launch of Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
Just
I
so
think
that's,
it's gonna
just
be
so that's
Echo.
clear, huh?
I think it's gonna be Echo, because they're like
That
the
wouldn't
character
surprise
they've been
me.
shown off.
Yeah, because
First.
wasn't she in like the one of the more recent
She was in the
videos?
McCree.
Yeah,
cinematic,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And
then
then
she was
again, this
in
one.
the one they announced the game with.
Which that's a good question. Where the fuck was McCree if Echo got there?
That's a good question.
Who knows?
I don't know. We'll find out
That was
in
awesome.
the story mode. Keep going.
And so then with Overwatch 2, all the stuff I just said will be in Overwatch 2 along with the first game. But the new stuff you get in Overwatch 2 is new story mode, which is cool. New hero missions where you play as that specific hero and do
These
stuff.
are like replayable missions, like
Yeah.
that have value to like do it over and over again.
Sort of
basically.
similar to like strikes in Destiny is what it sounded like to me, where it was like co-op missions that you could do multiple times.
Something like that. New hero talents. So it was like you can like there's like progression with each hero, and
Finally.
you can
like a
and you
level
can
system.
and I think I don't know what it's for. If it's the hero missions or story mode, or if it's just for the game in general, I don't know. But you can like customize the abilities.
I believe
there's,
it.
like,
They said it
different-
was PVE.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So for PVE stuff, I think so. So story mode and hero missions, I think, you can customize the abilities. So there was one where it's like Mei can like insta freeze a bunch of people around her, and there was I think like Reinhardt has like a bigger smash that like smashes in like a square shape all
That's really
around
cool,
him.
man. I'm glad
It
they
was-
finally added some variety here, man.
Yeah.
It was hard to tell if it's going to be just PvE because I remember in the where they showed off those
Yeah.
abilities, Jeff Kaplan said, I think it was for like Tracer's Ultimate where it like hit multiple people. He said, "Now imagine that in PvP." I think is what he said.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember. That might be the case.
Maybe.
Then I
But
wonder,
so
is
we'll
that
see.
coming to Overwatch 1 as well?
I don't.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
So how would that work then? Because they said
It might be like different ones for like PvE might have different skills than PvP.
Probably because I
hope
because
so,
I know
because Hanzo has an ability where he shoots an arrow and it just homes in on everyone else.
because I
it's
know
like,
that
what's his name from Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yondu.
Yeah.
Yondu?
That's cool. Keep going.
because I know that Overwatch 2 and like the original Overwatch they're gonna be on the same servers so you can play on
Yeah, you can
Overwatch
play
2
together.
and still play with people on Overwatch 1 and so I don't know how this like leveling
It's like a very
system is
bizarre.
going
Like it's
to
almost
work.
like it's like an expansion, but
Yeah.
also its own game.
All right, keep going. Finish it out.
For Overwatch 2, the heroes, all the heroes have a new look. So you can search that up and see like the difference. There was the video I saw on Reddit that was like
Or I
comparing
can fucking put them right here.
or yeah, Wesley will bring them up of
Here's
Tracer
Lucio.
showing the difference of her face and hair and stuff, and then her
Here's
clothing and
Reinhardt.
whatnot. Stop.
Here's May
Stop.
and Mercy.
Stop.
Wesley has a lot of work to do.
All skins, cosmetics, and other progress will carry over. So if you're worried about the things you've committed into Overwatch 1, it's all going to transfer over.
Yeah, that's really good. I like that a
You
lot.
can just get the new game and you got all the new shit. You don't have to get the new game. Matters how much content you
Have
want.
they said are they gonna update like the cosmetics, the way the cosmetics look? Or are they
I'm
going
sure
to-
that's updated with how the engine looks. Yeah.
I'm putting
And then
this
I'm
up.
sure that the new game will have a whole slew of
I'm putting that up.
Oh,
Just a
God.
second.
a whole slew of new cosmetics to get as well. So didn't they say something about how like the game's kind of like cross-play or something? They said they didn't want to split the player base. They said
You
something
can
about
play-
that.
They've
Yeah,
said
they
you can play Overwatch 1 with Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because all the
Gotcha.
maps, all the new maps and all the new characters
Are
are
going to
coming
come,
to
yeah.
both
Yeah.
games.
Will they look different in both games? I'm confused.
I think
now.
just like graphically wise.
I wonder how that's gonna work out. Same goes for that's what I'm saying. That's also I was asking about the talents because are the talents gonna like if the talents do carry into PvP?
I don't think they do.
I swear I remember them doing it.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Then
So I wouldn't know how they would do that, especially with.
well, no,
people
I'm just
on
saying I
Overwatch
think they
1.
do based on what they said, not based on if it works or not.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know, Trey, I know you got thoughts. You've been holding them in all week. Go ahead. Do your thing.
All right, so if you see me look down a lot, it's because I have screenshots on my phone to remind myself what I'm going to say. So, all right, the single player missions, as was mentioned earlier, you're going to play as specific characters, anywhere from 1 to 4. I think most of the time it's going to be 4. In each of those like cities or those areas, and I don't know, defend against the Omnics probably. Now, the hero talents. As I said that Blizzard should do with Overwatch, they added, that you can, as you level up, you can like tweak your character and change what their abilities do. You won't be able to have all talents on you at once, but it's like, I don't know, maybe there's 2 for Tracer's Pulse Bomb, and you get to choose between, you get to have one of the 2 and blah, blah, blah. From what they showed you of like the menu, we know that there's at least 20 levels and 6 different variations to choose from. And, I mean, you can just watch the trailer to see some of the new abilities. They look really cool. Genji gets a ranged attack with his ultimate, which, cuts through dudes. And...
So we needed that.
Oh jeez.
Oh, yikes. Now...
Man's Cloud now.
What concerned me... You can also say Link. What concerns me is the fact that you only see them use these abilities against robots, like in the story. Which is like, okay, cool customization, but if I can't use that in PvP, I don't care that much.
Yeah,
That's why I was thinking.
agree
I
with
think
that.
some of them are gonna be like both, but I think there are also gonna be some that are just PVE.
That
Maybe
makes
some that are
sense if you
just
have some
PvP.
split things, like because there's certain things you can't do in a competitive environment, and some you can.
Yeah.
So if they split them, that would be pretty good.
And it's like some...
Torbjorn. One of the things Torbjorn has was that instead of having 1 turret, he can put down like 3 mini turrets. I think that seems like that would be fine.
He's hibernating exactly.
Literally, yeah.
He's the donger.
Yeah, and like Tracer...
Torb your donger.
One of the talents that she has is... One of the talents that Tracer has as part of her talents is when she flashes through people, that deals damage.
Oh.
Or that whenever she uses one of her abilities, her ammo comes back, or like her guns reload, which is like, okay, that's cool. You can pretty much just shoot forever as long as you moderate your dash as well, or, mediate your dash as well. But if I can't, and it's probably is going to be somewhat of a mix where they give you like 1 ability or something. It just worried me when I saw the trailer and I only saw them use it in PvE, and when you saw PvP, you just saw the same stuff from Overwatch 1. Yeah. Speaking of which, the fact that you can play with people on Overwatch 1 also concerns me. Because if... That's what... It kind of makes me believe that PvP isn't going to change much from Overwatch 1.
The video, and this is a real quick thought, and Nico can continue. The video that I watched on it that kind of just told me everything that was going on was the dude basically summarized it as like Overwatch 2 is really cool if you want to get into the story mode and PvE stuff. If you don't, then Overwatch 1 will still be the PvP stuff and what it is that you already have, but they're going to build on it.
Was the progression system something that they said was exclusive to Overwatch 2, or was that coming to Overwatch 1 as
I
well?
don't remember if they mentioned that.
I believe the progression system has to do with the talents and the hero missions. I think.
I think you're right about that, but I'm still. Now I have more of these questions that I didn't think I had
feel like
before.
then, I think in that case that would be a little overpowered then, because then if you buy Overwatch 2 and the talents are in PvP, then you have a clear advantage over people who are just
Oh
on
my
Overwatch
god,
1.
Nico. Are you alright there, bud?
Yes.
Okay.
You just slammed the TV.
Okay, buddy.
I just want to talk. I'm sorry. From what I searched up, the talents is only PvE. It's not PvP, which I wouldn't think so.
Yikes. That makes this
That's what I was
less
saying.
enthusiastic. I'm taking this shirt off now.
I imagine the reason for the talents is to have some more character and gameplay dynamics when it comes to the story missions.
Right.
Because in competitive play, or just like in PvP, it makes sense to have like a set of skills and that's consistent. Though it would be cool to have differences, but it makes sense for the story missions to have different abilities so you can choose how you want to do the mission.
I agree, but I disagree.
For
would
me,
think-
well, you had.
I
I'm
see the
sorry.
argument
No,
either
go
way.
ahead.
For me, it's like, because I'm pretty sure it's like Mortal Kombat X, and granted, I know this is a fighting game, so it's not a complete 1-to-1. But with Mortal Kombat X in the in like the tournaments, you had sets where you could customize your character's abilities. So it's like, okay, they're running this. No, this guy's playing the same character, but he's running this set. So as long as it's like nothing where like you get to choose from one of like 20 different abilities, I don't think it would be that big of a deal.
The thing it initially reminded me of is that it's kind of like Heroes of the Storm has the same sort of thing.
Exactly.
Where instead of items in that game, you have talents that as you level up, you can change how your abilities work.
That's
and
what I
make
was
it work
thinking.
in that game. So I would think they would be able to do it in...
I think they can figure it out. I hope they do. I don't know why they didn't, because that is the sticking point for at least me and Trey, and I think the rest of us here, is that Overwatch is really repetitive and does not have much variety other than the maps and the game modes.
I would think the story mode would need to be really, really good.
Yeah, it need to be extremely good.
To be fair,
Which I do
from
want to
what
play.
I
'Cause
saw,
I want to see the story.
From what I
love the
saw
story
from
of
that one
Overwatch.
story mission that they let people play at BlizzCon, it looked really fun.
That's good.
Like
Yeah, it
like
looks good.
imagine like the Retribution and the what was the other one called? Like the other story mode.
Like the first one
expansions.
where you had a...
Like it was like old Null Sector.
Yeah.
Like the story missions that were in Overwatch 1.
For the events.
It was imagine those, but like
Yeah, it's like way
ramped up to like 11, where like there's way more enemies. There's a lot more variety of enemies. It's like the levels are much longer.
That's good.
Gameplay's. Oh, they also have consumable items in that game, where every like, I think at like checkpoints or specific thing, a like ammo box will drop, and it'll open up, and there'll be like concussive grenade or sentry turret or health station. And
Interesting.
because there's a health station, they haven't shown him off yet, but that makes me think that Soldier is going to have like a completely new ability because his healing station is now just an item that anyone can have.
Yeah.
That makes me think that he might have a new.
Interesting.
I have a question. Did I hear correctly that they're increasing the size of some of the maps or something?
For
That wouldn't surprise me.
I
Just
didn't
the
hear that.
I didn't hear that.
Okay.
I
But
don't remember that.
I thought
that might have been
I-
something that came out.
Yeah, I thought I heard that they were doing something like that, but I'm not sure. I that's why I wanted to ask. I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, they're increasing map sizes, but
Oh yeah, also the maps for story mode are not like just like PvP maps but at nighttime or anything. They're their own unique maps.
yeah.
That's good.
And I guess what my question is, after watching the trailer, is what's going to make this feel like Overwatch 2 instead of, hey, why didn't they just make this DLC for Overwatch 1?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It looks like a DLC.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, we put in a story mode. Why didn't you just
Part of me
update
thinks
Overwatch
it
1?
could have been.
I don't really care.
It could have been like the Destiny thing, where like there was too much we wanted to put into the original game, that it would be like there wouldn't be enough space to put it in to have the game still run well. So it was like, why don't we just make a new game?
Maybe.
That could be the case.
It could be the code base. Yes, Nico?
I did have notes typed up for this point. The point being that these aren't enough changes to Overwatch, that like it should just be a DLC that gets added on to the game, not a whole new game. And my response to that is no.
Okay.
All right.
I was about to say, next
Thank
point.
you for joining us on the Black Market Podcast.
No, I said, I'll read what I typed up. Overwatch has been losing popularity steadily over the past couple of years. Adding content, even if it's large content, won't have as large an effect as releasing a new game. By releasing a new game, you create more hype, you create a blank canvas, and a more clear mindset for the fans of the franchise. And my opinion on this is, I would not be interested in DLC. A new game gives me a fresh start, makes me feel like I'm getting something new rather than adding to something old. So it's like, I don't play Overwatch anymore, but I'm more compelled to get back into it if another game comes out that has new content.
I get that.
I don't want to get a DLC necessarily. That's just me,
It's
though.
like a game you're already turned off to. Seeing an expansion for that is like, I'm already not playing it.
I
But,
get that,
but I feel like that with Overwatch 2, though. And I'm
But
not going to
my-
pay money for it.
exactly.
Yeah,
Like
that's
but
my
I feel
concern.
more inclined to pick it up again, considering that it is a new game, because it makes it like.
But how new is it really?
But
That's
That's
the
the
okay,
question.
but what I'm saying is, you could apply the same logic to No Man's Sky. Because
Yeah.
there's a whole bunch of crap that we're adding to this game. Pay for it again.
They're not.
Pay for like the base stuff as well as the new stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm
my
like,
They're
concern.
not paying for the
everything-
new stuff.
It's like-
everything in
No
that
Man's
game
Sky
is free.
I'm saying, imagine if they did that to
Yeah,
No
he's
Man's
saying
Sky.
it's the opposite scenario.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, it doesn't matter whether it's a new game or a big update, as long as you're changing something. Because they could have just re-released Overwatch 1 and just slapped on a 2 to it. If the game doesn't actually change and it doesn't actually feel like a sequel, I'm going to be pissed either way.
That's fair.
The only thing is I'm going to be more pissed because now I spent money on it again. So, but I do understand the
We don't have
interest
to
of a
go
new
across
game. I completely understand that, and I'm kind of hyped because Overwatch 2. A lot of people were hyped of Overwatch 2. I just don't want to fall into that trap
Yeah.
of, hey, this is basically just the same game but with a story mode to
I'm
it.
probably not
Which
buying
don't get me
that
wrong.
one.
Which don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Interested in the story. I was one of the first people
Yeah, I am
in
too.
our group that was interested in the Overwatch story.
Yeah. Same.
But like I said, if the PvP is the same and that the difference is that you just added a good PvE, that better be a damn good PvE.
That's like I'm
in
buying.
my
I'll buy it
opinion,
on sale.
Like
to
I better
play
be
that.
playing
Yeah.
this shit for months.
In my opinion, the PVE looks really solid so far.
That's
It looks
good.
And
solid.
that's just from one mission. But
I just
so
want to know
overall-
how deep it is. Because if the missions aren't that long and it's just, oh, it's the grind to get to level 20, I'm playing the same mission over and over again. At some point,
I'll go
that's,
play League of Legends.
at some point, that's going to get stale.
I'm going to head up.
Gee.
Remember when Overwatch came out? Everyone was like, "League's dead.
Yeah.
League's dying, guys.
Yeah.
Which
It's
that-
gonna kill League of Legends."
That never made any sense because it's like these aren't even close
That
to being
happened.
the
That
same
happened
game.
for like 2 weeks.
Well,
Remember when
but-
everyone made a fucking Overwatch clone game, and then it turned out Overwatch is doing worse than all of those clone games?
But like when Overwatch came out, though, like a lot of League of Legends players were moving over, and like even a lot of big names too, like streamers and stuff.
everyone needed a break.
Yeah,
and then they came back and they were just
everyone
like,
moved over.
"This is where I belong."
And it was like, shit, what?
I just wanted to get to another one of my points. This isn't something we've brought up here so far, but our friend Addy in our Facebook group chat was mentioning it, and I just wanted to comment on it here on the podcast. He said Overwatch 2 should have a whole new roster of characters with old ones mixed in either by default or by being unlocked. My answer to that is no.
You could have just said that to a person, bro. Cause
That would not make the game Overwatch. The game Overwatch
People would get
revolves.
upset.
I'm talking revolves around the characters, the world, and the meaning those characters have to the world, and all the story around it. Having a new roster literally makes it a whole different game and
Yeah.
creates a large lack of interest in it.
Literally, Tracer is the
In terms of Overwatch.
mascot of Overwatch. Why
Yeah.
would you not want her in?
Yeah,
the
that
actual
was
game?
that was also an argument that I heard. It's like, why are both games gonna have the same roster? And it's like, Winston's already here. Why would Winston go away?
Yeah.
Like literally,
What would be the reason?
if you got rid of all the characters,
I feel like people
it's
would
just
be
a
more
different game.
upset.
They would.
That's what I'm saying. People would want to play Overwatch 2, but their favorite character might not be in the game, and they're just like,
So
why?
people aren't complaining
What if
that
they did-
Smash has Mario and Pikachu in it.
What if they did like a Pokemon thing where like Overwatch 2 has
Oh my
like
God.
Has
has
no.
exclusive
four of the original characters.
exclusive characters in either
Oh,
or.
Jesus Christ.
That'd be horrible.
They have
man.
4 original characters, and it's Mei, Hanzo,
Genji.
Diva, and
They have the same argument over you keeping your cosmetics.
Bastion.
Bastion.
With the cosmetics, it's like, number one, some people spent money on that.
Yeah. I mean,
And number two-
random, but yeah.
Number two, if I have this cool Tracer skin, why do I have to get it again in Overwatch 2? Or why would it go away? Y'all spent time on that.
Yeah.
Let me just say.
What's the point of me losing it?
Let me just say real quick. Of all the redesigns for Overwatch 2, Bastion literally just got a hat, and he is 100% the best.
I have to see.
I
the-
didn't see
because
him.
of that goddamn baseball cap.
I didn't see him. I
I
gotta
have
see
to.
it.
I have to see the
I got it.
comparisons for the redesigns. But to me, they don't look that different.
It's not that different.
It's like
no,
it's not
time.
drastic.
It's like times past.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like
and the
I.
engine looks better.
Well, yeah, like I know that, but it's
Which
like.
is
Lucio,
fine.
have you seen
Well, it's not-
Lucio?
yeah, Lucio looks good. It's not
Lucio
even
looks
just
good.
Isn't it
the
like
engine
instead of
looks better. They
having
have
green,
different,
instead of having lime
Yeah.
green
clothes
highlight?
and stuff like
Yeah.
that?
No, he's not wearing actual clothes. It's like he's wearing like an actual like battle armor suit, and also his hair is like. Look at that guy. Look
He's
at him.
wearing a
Look at him.
cap.
He's got a cap.
Oh, that's
He's got a baseball
amazing.
cap.
Oh, and his armor's looking more
Yeah, he's
smooth and
also-
rounded. I see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and then
Torbjorn has a bit of a longer beard.
Reinhardt does
Reinhardt.
as well.
Very small
Oh, yeah,
detail.
here's
but
a photo.
yeah, Reinhardt is like an old
I've
old ass
seen
man.
that.
Tracer got a different jacket.
May finally woke up and left the Iceland.
Yes.
So she's got things.
Mercy's armor is a little different too.
May looks
That's-
even more like
her
one of
hair's
my
changed a bit.
friends.
All right.
One thing I want to add, and this is about Push, which is the new game mode, or at least one of them.
Push.
The only one that we know of so far.
I
Yeah.
sure do love pushing.
So
He's
the
best character.
it's kind of like a payload type thing,
Yeah.
It's tug of war.
but it's essentially tug of war. One robot, the robot is a neutral force.
Yeah.
Whatever teams around it pushes their
It's almost like
like a
payload.
payload.
It's almost like payload, but both teams are trying to push.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, this is going to be it's probably going to be the longest game mode that we have
Probably.
because
Tug of war.
if one team's trying to get here and if one team's trying to get here and the other team's trying to get here, robot pushes to here, team pushes them back. Now he has to walk all the way back.
Maybe there's
Now
gonna be
he's
like
pushing.
a thing like those like checkpoints would make it faster or something like that, depending on how far it gets, so that's harder to come back in the game.
Or you might
when
like
you go.
push it like, faster.
I imagine there's a time limit, and whoever gets the farthest at the end of the time would win. If I don't think the game would go on forever.
I would also imagine like if it's on both sides, if the robot's on this side, like closer to this goal, and he starts pushing this way, the robot probably moves faster.
I hope he does.
Maybe,
Otherwise, that's
yeah.
going to you're
Damn.
Jesus Christ.
All
you're
right,
going
then.
to get a
The
lot
house is
more.
collapsing around us.
Oh my God!
As we
You're gonna get a
finish
lot more
this
overtime.
episode.
You're gonna get a lot more instances where you see overtime, and it's like, all right,
Here we go.
yeah. It's just for me when I saw this trailer, I was hype, but that hype, like the cinematic's always good. 8-minute
yeah.
cinematic. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
It's
that
great.
shit was great.
But then I saw the gameplay, and I'm like, please impress me. I said this on the podcast before. Impress me. And I wasn't that impressed. Because I'm like, I still have a lot of questions, and I'm afraid that I'm right. I don't want to be right. I want to be very, very wrong.
And Overwatch 2 isn't coming out yet.
We don't know when it's coming.
Jeff Kaplan
Jeff
talked
Kaplan
about it.
doesn't know when it's coming.
Yeah, he's like, honestly, the reason why you don't have a release date is because we don't actually know. He said it's not coming out this year. That's probably a pretty safe bet.
No.
And
Which
he was
is
like,
honestly fair. Like,
yeah.
You know.
And he's like, he says it here in this quote too. He's like, basically, like, if I think we'll be talking about it at next BlizzCon, if that helps. That's basically what he said. Like, so it'll probably come out, my guess, late next year, early the following year.
Yeah,
Maybe on like Overwatch's anniversary.
I think it's going to
in
be
2021.
like
Wow, Overwatch
Soon-
is 3 years old.
Yeah, man.
soon after
Well,
PS5
3.5
launches,
now.
and probably Xbox.
I did not know it's been that long.
Yeah, man.
So what I'm seeing right now, like everything that we were saying right now, I don't know if I want this game to be a $60 game.
I
Yeah.
hope it's not.
I don't.
don't
Well,
think
because
it
the
will.
original Overwatch wasn't $60 either.
It
right?
was on console. It was
It was on
it was like
console, yeah.
40 on PC, but
Yeah.
it was 60 on
I thought
console.
it was like 30.
no, it was 40. It was at least 40.
Okay.
And it was 60 on console. I don't know why.
Probably
Does
'cause
anybody
it's
know why?
Because it was like the.
physical copy.
But I have a physical copy of Overwatch on PC.
Yeah,
I
on PC.
remember-
Yeah.
I remember
But that's-
Overwatch on console. It was like
it's signed
only
by
let you-
it's signed by
Sombra?
Sombra's voice actress.
Yeah.
She's cool.
She's very cool.
That was the time. That was the time.
That was a time.
That's a vlog you can go watch on the BMG channel. Actually,
No, you
wait, no, you
can't.
can't.
I can.
We
Put it
should
back
put that back
I
up.
can put it
That's
back up.
one
Yeah,
video we
put
should
that
put
one
back up.
yeah.
So go check that out. That was fun.
I think the console version was just like. Because I remember it was like the digital deluxe edition or whatever, where it was like it came with a bunch of skins.
That's right. Because yeah, the Origins edition
That's what it was.
was the only edition on console.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there was a higher priced one, but that was the lowest priced one. Where on PC you could just get the standard. Because I think actually now I remember now
It might have
when it
just been-
launched. It was $60 for everybody because everybody got the Origins edition. But shortly after the launch was when the $40 one went out for PC, without any of that, which is basically just like a bunch of skins and stuff. And then
No, I think the $40 version was out on PC at launch. Because I remember.
Oh,
having that option.
that's right. No, you're right. The $60.
but-
You mean on the console?
No, the Origins edition was the pre-order. After it came out, then it was the $40 edition you could buy.
Right.
That's what it was. I don't know why they did that. I don't know if they're going to do that again.
It might have to do with because Blizzard's never really had a console game at release.
Yeah, that's true.
So they've never they've never had a game as popular as Overwatch was when it was announced.
It's true.
That was also coming to console. So it might have been like they were not expecting to have to pay that much for physical copies.
Maybe. I have a feeling it's going to be 60. It's the same content from Overwatch 1, which is already a solid amount of content, and that was charged for $60 at launch, plus all the new shit.
But that was a new thing. So and this is like not as new of a thing. I don't know how to describe
Yeah.
it.
It's like.
It's almost an
I
it's like an
want new
expansion, but
stuff.
like not an expansion.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Now, just like a small little thing, that animation, the 8-minute one, took, what was it, 3 years to make?
Yes.
Dag.
No,
Yeah.
apparently, I don't know if you knew this, Trey, but apparently they made that in the month that since the controversy happened.
Oh my
because it's
God.
clearly they made that specifically to do damage
Yes.
control, right?
People are
Who's
saying
saying that?
People are
People
saying
Oh
that
my
beautiful
God.
8-minute animation took them like a month to
Yeah.
do because of the
You
whole
can do that.
controversy
You
with
can do that in
China-
30
with
days,
China.
right?
Lies.
And
What would even be the
if
point of
you
that?
know even a little bit about animation, you can tell them
That is laughable.
that is hilarious.
They can't make CG look good in movies in like 2 years. How are they going to do that in a month?
Dude, that they would have to be legendary animators. They would have to be actual gods to do it in that short of amount of time.
I think my favorite.
Even if they didn't sleep.
I think my favorite, I don't know what it would be, quote unquote, like, insult of Blizzard was that the French police woman
Oh
was
yeah.
like a character that was just, she was specifically made for no other purpose other than to say, because China's a police state.
And it's like,
this is a good character who's a policewoman.
Didn't
So we like police
That's
state
so-
China.
didn't
That's
the
so-
animation not even take place in China?
No,
God.
it took
No,
place
it
in
took
France.
place in France. Yeah.
Yeah,
This
so I'm
character's
like-
a policewoman.
I'm like, what
which
are-
means police are good people.
I'm like,
which
what
means
are-
we like China.
Like, what are any of you talking about?
They're reaching very
Yeah.
far.
It's the whole confirmation.
Luffy's not in this game.
It's
Yeah, man.
confirmation
Just letting you
bias.
know.
They're doing a lot of stretching over there. I don't want
what's
them to hurt
his
themselves.
What's his name from Arrow, the CW show?
I haven't watched Arrow in like 2.
Put up a GIF
Long
of
hair.
that guy from Arrow. who
That
has
one
the
guy.
stretchy arms,
Okay.
just throwing his arms at the air. I
Wesley
will
will-
send
Wesley
it
will
to you
find it.
later.
Send-
Okay.
But
Put it here.
Good God, it is
I'm
the
not putting it
funniest GIF
Put it
I have ever seen.
All right, we gotta start wrapping it up. I know we're gonna go overtime from our projected length in this episode because we have so much news here.
Diablo 4 looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about that real quickly. Diablo 4 was announced, which we knew was coming, and we had a leak that it was coming in as BlizzCon, and now we have a trailer for it. I have not seen it, actually. I meant to watch it, but I'll watch it later.
We should have watched that instead of the Witcher trailer.
Oh, we could have, but...
It's a much better trailer.
I mean, I'm interested in the next Diablo game. Diablo sounds like something I would enjoy, but I just never got around to trying it out. And if a new one's coming out, then... Well,
Isn't it like an MMO? Or something?
It's like...
it's kind of like that.
It's hard to describe. It's like its own sort of genre. It's like an action RPG, but
It's
like,
kind of like Destiny in a way, but it's a
But, like,
it's like a it's
top-down.
like it's a top down like dungeon
Isometric.
crawler kind of thing. Instead
It's
of
hard to describe.
instead of a first person shooter.
Isometric.
One of the only words that the S is actually pronounced. Yeah. Jack's the one I guess has the most experience on this. You got anything
Yeah,
to say about Diablo 4?
I mean, I've been playing Diablo
I
since.
mean, you are
Diablo
the
2.
Blizzard guy.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but apparently, and I was
I
even
know how it
thinking about it.
happened.
We were talking about this before the podcast, but apparently, I am the Blizzard guy, and I guess that's just because I'm like the only one who's grown up playing Blizzard games.
Yeah, played more than one of their games.
I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, I didn't really because I played
Hazley, wait a
I
second.
played the original StarCraft. I played Diablo 2. I played World of Warcraft until Cataclysm came out. And then I played that and played Heroes of the Storm, played Overwatch. And I was thinking about this like, I actually am kind of the Blizzard guy.
And Blizzard hurt you
Yeah.
a lot.
Well, they didn't hurt me. They hurt a Hearthstone guy.
Well, just one guy.
Just one guy.
Just one
Just one
guy.
singular guy. That's all, right? That's all that happened.
Free Hong Kong.
Yeah, for
Hey.
We're gonna get shit down.
Anyway,
Forget
Blizzard's gonna
hey.
ban us for
I
1,000
know.
years.
1,000 years.
But
China doesn't want us anyway.
All right.
I do like Diablo 4 so far. It looks really good. Especially that cinematic. Diablo has never had.
That
looked this
cinematic
good.
was so good.
Yeah, that cinematic. Honestly, I think that cinematic was better than the Overwatch.
Oh,
cinematic.
sure.
Like, cause it was just
That's-
oh man, that was amazing.
All right.
Indeed.
I'm
I
so
don't know
excited.
if we're going to discuss any more of this, but
We don't need to
because
discuss
we don't cover
it.
any
We can
long
just
time.
mention it.
So, two more things real quickly before we get to that last piece is that as well in BlizzCon, World of Warcraft got a new expansion announcement. Not a big surprise there. They get they get expansions. That's how it is. And then
The expand dong.
Of course.
exactly.
And,
And then Hearthstone got a whole new thing. They have they're adding like an auto battler to Hearthstone, by the way.
Right.
It's not
That's
really
very weird.
it's not really an auto battler.
It's really just a 1v1v1v1v1v1v1v1.
a card game.
Yes.
But apparently
So
it's an auto battler somehow.
so
Like apparently it's
essentially-
supposed to
well,
do
it's
it
got the
by
same
itself.
thing that auto battlers have, where you like get a pool at the bottom that you can buy, and you like set up your.
Does it do stuff on? Do the cards do stuff on their own though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you set up the
So I was
cards.
confused when I was watching
on
it.
the
That's
table,
weird.
and then you show up with the other person,
TFT's
and then the
still
cards
better, though.
fight them.
Have you played TFT, Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah, but again,
Okay.
it's a game that's basically like a card game where it's up to chance on if you get a good build,
Kinda.
and I'm like,
Yes and no. You have to
Yeah,
like.
there are
You gotta be able to go with the flow of the game well. Honestly,
a
I
common.
just can't do that because every
It's
single
hard.
time I'm like,
I
well,
suck at it.
Everyone else got
I got second place
amazing
yesterday.
builds at round 2.
I'm
And
the same way.
meanwhile, I'm like, I just have to sit here and wait to slowly die because I am just not getting anything.
Yeah.
To me, it's a common misconception when people say that TFT is it's just RNG, and it's like, if it were just RNG, then how come like
There wouldn't be
these
a-
then
there
how
wouldn't be
come
a
like
rank.
these group of people almost consistently win? Why do they always break top 3?
I'm sure if
Could
I
it-
put in the time to like actually
Oh,
learn
oh
everything,
yes.
I
Hey, it's
would
coming
get
to
good.
mobile next year. I mean,
So
we
is
got
League
more
of
time to play
Legends.
it. So is League of Legends. That's probably later next year, but
And it's like, could it just be that you're getting good things, you just don't know it? You just don't know how to utilize it effectively?
I absolutely think that's the case.
And-
exactly.
And it's like that's fine. I mean, there are things in TFT where it's like I have no idea what I'm doing, and this doesn't effectively explain what to do. Much like how old League of Legends did.
All right, and the last thing is some quick updates on the Blizzard situation when it comes to China and Hong Kong and all that shit. One of the things that I discovered during the week is that they lost a sponsorship with Mitsubishi. How do you pronounce the name? You know, I never knew how to pronounce it when I was
Mitsubishi.
younger, but then I realized it's Japanese and I should
Yes,
be able to figure
sir.
it out. Mitsubishi. 2 days after the whole incident with Hearthstone, so like they just dropped them because they were just like no,
Cheat.
None
which
of
is
that.
funny because they're Japanese, so that's kind of
It's like
interesting.
someone's doing something right.
And then there was an interview. Well, the Blizzard CEO said something on. He apologized on stage before the whole opening ceremony to BlizzCon, and then there was also an interview with him talking about their decision to do things. There's too much to go into right now. And then there's a lot of funny things going on with protesters outside of BlizzCon. Some of them are dressed as Winnie the Pooh to make fun of the whole. Winnie the Pooh is banned in China because
Yeah.
people say that the president of China, looks like Winnie the Pooh.
He does.
So
He does.
he does. It's a whole joke, and now people were making fun of them like that. There's also a
picture.
lot of. Oh my God! There's also a lot of not Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the
A lot of
President of
Hong
China.
Kong, free Hong Kong things going on during the
President of
panels. People
China.
were saying things in the microphone and stuff like that. Oh man, it was a thing.
Now quickly,
It was a thing.
put up
Just-
an edited name called China the Pooh, right here.
China the why?
And in one of the O's, put Winnie the Pooh's face, and in the other
then
one,
in this one,
put in dude's face.
And this one
Wes is like, I'm not
is
doing
Winnie
this
the
at all.
China.
Winnie the China.
and then have Winnie the Pooh's face, but in like China's, and then like China's flag, like in his eye.
All right, I
thank you
think
for
that's
watching the B&B podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
The market.
Free Hong Kong.
free
All
Hong
right.
Kong. This has been the Market Podcast.
Hong
So, yeah, that's
Hong
gonna
Kong
be it
free.
for
Hong Kong.
number
Four.
episode 4 of the Market Podcast. Thanks everyone for watching. Remember
doing
to
this
give
for
us a like on what?
I said we've been doing this for about a month now.
Yeah, we've been doing this for about a month.
yeah.
It's been fun. It's been fun.
The holidays are coming up. Keep going.
All right.
Oh wow,
re-
that's it.
Remember to give us a like on the video if you enjoyed yourself and comment. We want to hear y'all's opinions on today's topics.
I don't.
Wow.
Well, I do because I love y'all.
Trey
Wesley
still
will be
hates the
looking.
audio
Don't worry about
listeners.
Trey. We'll be looking at the.
Subscribe if you want to see more, and don't forget if some of you bozos are sitting there wishing you could listen to the show while you're doing homework or whatever you get into. Look no further. We're on a number of podcast platforms like Apple Podcasts.
That's a
now
new
on
edition.
a new edition. We
Yeah.
are now on Apple Podcasts. So
Apple.
go over there, check us out. Rate us, give us a nice little message. Spotify, Google Podcasts, Castbox, and etc. All the links.
Castbox also another new edition.
All the links are in the description below. Same goes for you audio listeners. If you want to see anything from the episode, hop over to the YouTube at Black Market Gaming. Show your boys some love. And that's going to be it from us.
I was just joking about the Dairy Queen Blizzard thing. That was just a joke.
That was like an hour
That was an hour and like 15 minutes
It's
ago.
I just felt the need to bring it up.
All right,
All
thanks
right.
for watching, guys.
Thank
See you later.
Bye.
See ya.